All right, what are we talking about? I'm going to show my screen a lot here, just FYI. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. We're seeing North American stock futures in negative territory following the news overnight. U.S. President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump both testing positive for COVID-19. In a tweet, President Trump said, tonight, Flotus and I tested positive for COVID-19. We will begin our quarantine and recovery process immediately. We will get through this together. Global equity markets on that news immediately moving to the downside. We did see a little bit of recovery over in Europe as North America got open. Futures anyways got open and started moving a little bit back to the upside. Also moving markets this morning. Quietly last night, the House of Representatives passed the Democratic-led $2.2 trillion COVID-19 aid package. So that also happened last night in the House. We'll continue to monitor the progression of that. The September final jobs report out this morning was better than expected. 661,000 new jobs added last month. The unemployment rate also moving in the right direction. We're watching chip makers moving this morning. NVIDIA, AMD, both to the downside, more than 3% this morning. There was a downgrade on that group. EV maker NIO and Tesla, both out with delivery numbers, both for last month and quarterly numbers as well. So we'll have a look at those. It's Friday, October 2nd, 2020. TraderTV.live starts now. We go look at Asian markets. As I mentioned, we saw a nice little recovery heading towards the close. We did get negative right across the board here at one point following the news that President Trump had tested positive. But you can see Shanghai 1.4% at the end of the day. Hong Kong up 0.8%. Let's go over to Europe and see how things are shaping up. Negative still across the board, but well off early lows. Let's shift over to North America and see how things are looking. Yeah, it's the NASDAQ leading here, 2+% still to the downside. Everything else kind of trying to recover. TSX here in Toronto, about 1% to the downside. Futures anyways. The Brazil market open already. BOVESPA down 0.4%. Bitcoin lower. Look at crude. Yeah, big sell-off in crude oil markets this morning. 4+% to the downside. Seeing lots of stuff moving around this morning, guys. We came in this morning and had a nice little curveball to end off the week and start the month of October. Heading into the weekend here with this news this morning. A little bit more volatility. We're seeing the VIX higher as a result of this report. I mean, lots to look at. Thoughts, guys, to head into the Friday morning?
Yeah, talk about an October surprise. This is what we're going to get coming into an interesting week, and we're going to round it off with some actual market movement. Obviously, to the downside, you touched it off the bat there, Brendan, of course, with POTUS. With the positive test. I think that's going to weigh down on the markets in the short term. At least that's what it seems like, overshadowing, unfortunately, what's going to be positive job numbers, which might have put in a floor on this week. Tesla, NIO are going to be big time in play. So I think that, of course, the deliveries, a big blowout. Tesla on track, at least. It seems like to have a shot at that 500,000 mark that they're looking for deliveries on the year. It's going to take a big final quarter of deliveries, but certainly within the realm after getting over 130,000 this last quarter. So Tesla's back in play. NIO's going to definitely be in play. Be looking back at Palantir, of course, the recent direct listing there. So lots is going to be moving today. I already even have a couple of positions. I feel like it's going to be overwhelming. There's a lot of symbols to watch today, Sean.
Yeah, and it should be. I mean, look, if you're looking for movers today, most major tech stocks here down, between 2 to 4%. So we'll see a little bit of a pullback in those names coming today, and then we'll look to see what the market does off open. But we tried to rally there, like Neil said, on the jobs, but now we're just basically back to sort of the lows here of the market, with the NASDAQ down 2.5%. So yeah, it's going to be a wild ride today, but there's lots of names on blast. Palantir, we've talked about that. NEO, we'll get to Carnival Cruise Lines. I mean, everything's a big S here, so we'll wait to see if that does come through. Space as well, Virgin Galactic. And look, we're actually starting to speed up right now, taking out some of these bottoms from 7 a.m. this morning. So yep, I tweeted out, buckle up. It looks like it's going to be the truth.
Yeah, going to be an interesting one to end off the week, guys. Let's quickly have a look at what's coming up a little bit later on this morning. Brand new educational video coming your way. Yeah, if you're thinking about maybe opening a margin account, or maybe you already have one, our thoughts in this video on margin accounts, some things you should be aware of. Maybe you're not at this point. Have a look at that one coming up about 11:45. We'll get to that. Valeria will have the link for you coming up about 11:45, as I said. In the chat, speaking of Miss V, let's go over to the desk and say good morning to her.
Good morning, Brandon, and hello, everyone. Happy Friday, traders. Please subscribe to this channel, share the link with friends, and smash the like button. Let's get it started, Brandon.
Indeed. Let's get it started, guys. Lots to talk about. If we could throw my screen up there, Robbie, real quick. A little bit of news here on Co-Diagnostics, CODX, coming out saying this morning FDA approving their saline oral rinse for COVID-19 test. So CODX just popping up there on that news this morning. Not on the watch list, unfortunately, because it was a little bit late as far as that news coming out. Let's have a look at NVIDIA shares to start, guys. We had, I mean, both of these, NVIDIA and AMD, to the downside this morning. It was Wedbush, though, removing NVIDIA from its best ideas list, but it did at the same time raise the price target from $525 to $600. AMD also down. I mean, the market itself obviously under pressure, NASDAQ 2% plus. So here we go. Some of these chip makers in play this morning.
Yeah, and
3.5%.
Running to an interesting level here, this 524, 525. It's right on the lows. And Sean mentioned just a second ago that you're testing some of these bottoms here, and NVIDIA breaking 525 briefly for about like a penny or so in the pre-market, and then you go a couple of sessions ago into Wednesday's bottom at 524. So if those don't hold, you're looking at 15s and then 10s to that little downside. Let's see if these can hold up. And the market is testing low. If it breaks, NVIDIA feels like it could be one that goes with the party.
Yeah, like good job, Wedbush there. You know, finally on a little bit of a downgrade, I guess. Is that a downgrade, removing it from your best ideas list? I don't know, but maybe there's a little bit of a better idea. And the reason why, in my opinion, is nothing to do with NVIDIA, nothing to do with the sector at all. It's just, you know, it's a nice move, and we're near the all-time high, and the market's probably going to fade back through a little bit here. There's going to be volatility coming in NVIDIA. Like last week, I was actually saying this to Greg yesterday, I think. Last week, NVIDIA was down to 480. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, we come up to 550, and now you're back down a little bit. So we are retracing back. There's no doubt about that. No one likes to come in and see their positions down 4 or 5%, and that's probably what NVIDIA is going to be today if the NASDAQ can hold. Look for some of those bottom numbers there, like Neil just mentioned. We already took out the day's low. That's normally a good breaking spot. You're not going to see any levels here until, what is this? Neil mentioned on Wednesday it was 524. So if we're going to bounce, we're going to look at 524. But again, I just have to, you know, we talk about when we're going to put on trades. I'm going to let the market settle down. I have some ideas early, but it's not going to be NVIDIA. It's not going to be AMD. I don't know what the NASDAQ's going to do here. I actually feel like we could rally a little bit off the open, and then at that point, we'll start hitting the sells.
Let's go to EV world, guys. Both NIO and Tesla reporting record quarterly deliveries as of last quarter, obviously, as we head into October here. Nice number for both. We'll talk about NIO first here. It was a record month, first of all, in September for NIO as far as deliveries are concerned, and then increase on the quarter was 154%. So NIO back to the upside here this morning.
Yeah, I mean, double whammy, NIO and Tesla. But like, let's keep in mind, both of these names ran up into these expected numbers. And in NIO's case, you're really talking about going into last week, like $16 all the way up to 22. So it already put in a big move, almost like 35 or so percent. This little pullback, yesterday's low, Wednesday's low, 2075-ish is literally on the bid right now. So I came in and I wrote down I wanted to fade a trade off of the pre-market high, which was 2130. Instead, it looks like it's breaking the bottom, which it looks to me like if it's going to sell the news right through here, it's got to be a good trade, and I'll probably take a little bit. But my track record shorting, if it comes in the pre-market on NEO on a breakout style trade, isn't the best. So probably not going to be hitting the hammer right away. I would much prefer to be fading into this if there's any buy action off of that open at 9:30.
Oh man, I already wrote down 2075 as the spot that we were going to take the hammer out for. This was one of the names that we did like here today, and it's already at that spot. So we're going to break that before the market even opens, it looks like. But 2075, yeah, a decent level for that name. You can see it's bounced off here back 2 days ago actually, and then we got really close to that yesterday. We were loving that 2082 mark. Okay, here it goes. So it just cracks it right now and down, down, down. Let's check out the imbalance locator quickly. NEO, only 500,000 shares to sell. Decent number here for them. We've seen it in the multiple millions, but you can see already, guys, right now with this live level 2 action that it's bouncing around. This is a 3-minute chart. I love that 2075. And this is one of those things where, again, if you're joining us for the first time, make sure you do pick up our watch list. I'm going to show it right now on the screen here. This is what we're going over right now. NVIDIA, NEO, all the numbers are in here. And this is the funny thing. We always say, buy the rumor, sell the news. Like, reported record month for deliveries, right? Come in down 5%. So there you go. That's why you want to sign up for the watch list. You got to make sure you know what's happening and get yourself informed on some of these plays. I like NEO to the sell side, and we'll hit this 2075 if we can still get it.
All right, guys, let's go to the other big one, Tesla. I just noticed, morning lows here, pre-market lows on Tesla as well. After record deliveries also reported by Tesla, 139,300 versus 134,000 and change expected. So easily beating by 500 or 5,000 or so as far as the deliveries are concerned. So Tesla, we were talking about this earlier in the week. There was that report that came out, I think it was Monday, that suggested this was coming, as Neil was mentioning there. So day lows here for Tesla as well.
Yeah, the analysts had this one pretty much dead on, almost, and I think every number was right around the number that we got, just under that 140,000. A little spill drink behind me, I think, on the trading floor there. Hopefully that spill goes to NEO as well, because I did get into the short. I said it wouldn't be as big. This is pre-market. It's well before the open. So again, I'm going to take the 75 break because I had it written down that I liked it. So I got some shares at 72 on the way in. Tesla, very similar, testing a bottom, but a couple of bucks away from 420, and you have, because it was going sideways for so much of the week, you do sort of have multiple days of chop lows at like 410 to 415. So not as clear and obvious breakdown short in Tesla as when you look at the chart at 2075 on NEO. And that's part of the reason why I'm definitely going to be patient here in Tesla. I think if it comes back into the level that I was looking at a couple of days ago, that 28 to 31, comes back in there, I think that's going to be the fade play for me. I'm already in NEO. No need to double down by shorting the bottom here on Tesla.
We're basically we are going to wait for Tesla. I'm going to call up a day chart. Wow, days doesn't look good. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can get the daily because we still have that reverse split. But 410, it doesn't look good on this chart. 410's been protected a couple times here on that, on Tesla. 420 recently. Neil just went that. If we can even bring it back again, our chart's not adjusting for the split. But I'm going to still try to protect that level, man. If we can get to 415, we'll load it up. If we can get to 412, we'll load it up again. But right now, Tesla will protect it, and then we'll get out at 410, 411. Look, this stock is super strong. The deliveries were slightly higher. And then, again, it's the same thing as NEO. Neil just talked about it. They expected it. They actually beat. You're now down 5%. But again, I'm just not sure how much of this is related to, what the market's actually doing versus what the stock's actually doing, right? The NASDAQ's pulling back. When you have the NASDAQ down 3% and some of the leaders of the NASDAQ are going to naturally be down more than that, right? And so that's why I'm not super worried about Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, NVIDIA, AMD. Like, I'm not worried about them from a long-term perspective on their current companies. What I'm more worried about is just how high and how heated this market's been, and now you're getting some pullbacks. And I think that this is healthy for the market. However, it needs to hold certain levels, and that's why I'm saying if Tesla can hold that 410, if Apple can hold 105, if Microsoft can hold about 195, then we're going to be good to go. So we'll wait for Tesla on this one.
All right, guys, let's go over to Crocs, one that we don't look at very often, but big move yesterday in the afternoon. Late in the day, we had that big pop that went all the way up through to $48 after Justin Bieber posted a picture on his Instagram of a pair of Crocs floating in a pool with a caption that said, "soon," in quotations. So everyone thought that meant that something might be happening between Crocs and Justin Bieber. Valeria was very excited about that. We got as high as 48 or above 48, I guess it was, as I said. We're down to 44 here this morning.
Yeah, I already see in the chat here, Valeria's already putting hearts with Justin Bieber. So we're not going to win anything here. Look, I like Crocs. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I have my own pair of Crocs myself with a Team Canada logo on it. And the thing is, no word of a lie, I think they're 25 years old, honestly, how old those Crocs are. I remember my parents giving them to me for Christmas during one of the World Juniors tournaments there. So that's a problem, and I'll tell you why, because once you buy one pair, you may never buy another one. They're that good, and I don't know what that Justin Bieber thing was all about. Obviously, if he's involved, we saw what Kanye did to Gap, give them a boost. Now Bieber's coming through, and we're just going to wait to see what this stock does. But this is where it all started. So when the Bieber news came out, you can obviously see the volume getting in there. Valeria, I think, bought a couple 100,000 shares. And then, so this bottom is 43.50. So if we come back down through 43.50, then we take some of the steam off that Bieber news, and we'll trade that. But you know what, guys? Neil, it's done a whopping 4,800 shares in the pre-market.
Yeah, the one and only day that we'll probably end up talking about Crocs in honor of. Look, it was an interesting deal, and it was an exciting trade. If you were watching it yesterday, I don't know that there's going to be follow-throughs. Like you said, Sean, if it can't sustain that level from yesterday where this came out, I feel like that's a pretty weak sign there. And we don't know any details, so not too exciting. But keep your ear to the ground with Crocs.
Let's go to the travel space. We'll talk about the airlines first. Obviously, increased volatility, increased uncertainty now around specifically the airlines because of the aid package that was supposed to come. Now that Trump is going to be locked away for a period of time anyways, dealing with COVID, that might be a problem. So some of the airlines under pressure here this morning. AAL definitely doing the most volume to the downside. Anywhere from 3 to kind of 3.5% as far as the group is concerned. Yep. We can have a look at any of them, but worth a watch here this morning.
Yeah, you almost have to. I mean, certainly going into the week, you can see this, the bottom at 12.10. We're hanging right around that low. 12 even could be a breakdown. It was very, very sideways. It was one little move here off the open in the airlines. Of course, we're also waiting for a stimulus deal, which who knows what's going to happen there. So if there's something that might dump, $12, my stop is going to be locked and loaded. Thankfully, I'm not going to, it's a little bit of ways away, so I won't get triggered into this one by 9:30 because I already have like 4 positions on, which is starting to feel like a few too many, and I haven't even gotten to Palantir, which could be interesting as well. But 12 even, that's what I'm watching here through the bottom end on AAL. I'll take that when it breaks.
Palantir, you say. Okay, we'll get to DPW in a minute. What were you just talking about? Oh, yeah, CCL I want to go over. CCL here, 14.20 there. Not 4.20, 14.20. Right here, that's the break spot here on CCL. Why do we like it? If you look back here on a daily chart, as I look just over to my other side there. If you're joining us for the first time, Neil and I just don't use these charts, right? This is a 1-minute chart or a daily chart that we like to show you on the show just to make it simple. But we do have other charts, 30 minutes, 3 minutes, dailies. If you guys can throw up this side screen here, guys. Or this one's fine. Yeah, different level 2s here. Our blotters, hot lists, whatever. 3 minute, 5 minute, 12 minutes is what I use. Okay, CCL. Look, 14.20, we bounced off there a couple times in and around. It's not a huge, crazy level. It's just around here, man. It's 14.25. It's 14.20. We're only using 14.20 today. I can't try to pretend like it's something super special. It was just here at the bottom. Through the afternoon. So we'd like to take trades that break through bottoms. And today I think that you could get some motivation to go short if you haven't had that in the market for a while. It's here today. Obviously, we wish everybody well who has the virus, not just the president, every single person out there hoping for a recovery. We got vaccine stocks on the run. And obviously we have a lot of stuff happening today. CCL. The other thing, I want to give a shout out to Daryl. He did talk about this. Look, COVID's in play, 100%. We already know about that. Where have you been for the last 7 months? But there's also a stimulus package. So, Brendan, that could come down at some point today. Not sure they're going to get anything done before the weekend, but that's another thing that we need you for today because because, well, we need you for lots of things, but if that package does come out, then look for some of these cruise lines, airlines like Neil was talking about, even some of the tech sector, maybe to start going northbound on that deal.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting how that progresses. As we were saying at the beginning of the show there, guys, the House of Representatives did quietly push that through last night, through the House anyway, so it still has to get the White House approval. But now that all this has happened, we'll see how that progresses. But Twilio, the next one here, guys, on the list. Let's have a look at some cloud names this morning. Twilio specifically increased their Q3 sales outlook after market yesterday. There's at least 6. I actually just saw another one, so we'll call it 7. Analysts increasing their price target and giving the thumbs up for Twilio today. So big time positivity here.
Well, I was going to short it, but when it was 6, but 7, oh man, I don't know about that. Twilio booming, all-time. You go back a couple of highs here. You put in like 93. You put in 87. I know we're getting in on time here. We just put in 83 as the top. So I'll be watching all 3 of those. It's always a positive sign if you do get the gap up on the earnings that maintains above the post-market prices. That can be a good sign. But the market is dragging in, so profit taking is going to be the first look. I'm likely to bracket this one and just simply say I'll ride the party whichever way Twilio goes, knowing that in front of 80 or past 83, I'm looking at that 87 level to turn into resistance in the bottom here at 77. I mean, you can look at that 77 to 75 range and play a patience game, but I might just take this one off of the bat. I don't want to have too many positions, so I'm going to leave this one, and hopefully because of 150,000 shares pre-market, it'll give me a shot on an opening range play. I don't want to have 6 or 7 positions all in possibly in the same direction come 9:30. So I'm really hoping this one will give me a shot in the first couple of minutes in Twilio, maybe even fading off that 82.
Yeah, Twilio's been, I just got into more DPWs. I mean, this is a big winner for us today. We're going to get to that in a minute. TWLO, big stock here, man. I was actually lucky enough to get some of this at the IPO, down $30, $40, $50. What a run for this cloud name. Continues to beat. It continues to be an absolute monster. If it was any other day right now, this would already be over 300, but it is the day that it is, so we're going to have to wait to see if this can take out this high of 282. And guess what? When it does, maybe that's the trade that we're looking for here today. 282 long, as I just, but you know what? It did actually get higher than that. It got to 285, like Neil was mentioning. My chart only goes back to 730 here. I could adjust it to show you otherwise, but 282. Anyways, Twilio's going to be definitely on watch. I like the long on this one. When you pre-announce and you beat, that should be a good thing. It's a rocking stock, needless to say. So, but who knows where this one's going to go today? We do like Twilio breaking upside through 282, 283.
All right, guys, as we mentioned, there's a number of vaccine-related news stories or stocks moving around. One of those going to be Inovio Pharmaceuticals. If you remember, 2 days ago, we talked about the FDA putting a clinical hold on INO's trial, or phase 2-3 trial for their vaccine candidate. Wondering, there were some questions about the actual device, the delivery device for the vaccine. So INO is actually gapping up this morning because the rest of the group was seeing some positivity after the news of President Trump. So we are back to the downside already. We've come off, significantly here already. Still higher on the day, but they basically said the clinical hold is still in place. They're still working with the FDA to try and get that lifted and answer any questions they have. But INO, yeah, weakness to say the least.
Yeah, because of the uncertainty that's still going on with their trial, I hope that sympathy that they got to the upside, of course, with the entire space was something that you could short into, looking at previous levels, 13, 1350 up to 14, somewhere in that range. But it's already done a bit of a sell-off, and it's put in a sort of stable floor here. So I don't know that I'm going to have an actionable trade. It's literally back to flat on the session already. So any shot there was maybe shorting this one could have come and gone. If it comes back up $1 or so, maybe I'll revisit INO, but I was hoping that little, I was about to say fantasy, but sympathy play to the upside could be something we fade. INO, I'll probably stay away from it. Unless we get down to this like 11 even area, there could be a little bit of a bottom there on INO.
Yeah, agreed 100%. And if you're just joining us for the first time, if you've been here the whole time, I apologize, but I'm going to do this again. This is our watch list. It's absolutely free. Watchlist.tradertv.live. And if you just sort of miss what Neil, Brendan, and myself are talking about, Brendan, obviously does go over pretty much everything that's written in here. But if you want to get a little bit more information, this gets delivered around 8:30, 8:45. Gives you a lot of prep time to get into the market, and then you'll read everything everything you need to know about I&O right in here. So again, sign up, delivered free to your inbox, and there's tons of names on here. We still have to get to them all today. NNOVX, Space is on here, Virgin Galactic. We've already touched on Twitter and on NIO. Yeah, well, Neil just went over everything on Inovio. There's so much to get to. Let's go back to Brendan.
All right, guys, let's talk DPW. We mentioned it a couple of times already. I want to make sure we get to Arun here because we need to know what to look for as far as the market is concerned. Real quick, though, let's touch on DPW. There was Sorrento as well, was a vaccine name or vaccine-related news this morning, but DPW Holdings on the NYSE ARC exchange, they came out saying that one of their units, so this is a holdings company, but one of their units is going to start to produce a charging station, so an electric vehicle charging station. They're jumping in on this rush to produce these products as well, guys.
Yeah, I'll show you here. We're all involved in this stock right now. 325 and 265, two levels on the daily chart that stick out like a thumb. Turn around off the ladder, sorry, the former one there, and then consolidated below the ladder. That second I saw that happen, the sideways action, I got into a short position. It's starting to roll over. What I can tell you is it heads downside. 240 to 250 is the entry, 265 that level. 2 quarters, good price, 198 previous close. If we go all the way back, I'll be all out in front of that. Hopefully, this is one of the ones we can just sort of sit in here and it slowly grinds to the downside. Already a nice win across the board here before the open on DPW.
Yeah, I'm tired of Brendan making all the money on these shorts, so I joined the party. Look at this, guys. 48, 49, then back up to 53. Then we shorted again on a breakthrough 40. We just took some out at 32 there, or 33, I think it was. And yeah, now we'll just wait for some more downsides, electric vehicles. Look, if it comes up to the upside, we get out. It's quite a simple play. We're already in the money real nicely, so a little bit of a spicy way to start the morning here today with some DPW. It's the only position I have on. We are going to wait for this market to open, and let's hear what Arun has to say, Brendan.
Yeah, simple to say the least. I think, weak stock, weak market, it writes itself. Let's go to Arun. Yeah, let's have a look at the overall market here. Going to be an interesting one here, Arun. They've tested this kind of 3,300 area a couple of times already. What do we need to know here?
This market's going to be very interesting at the open because this 3,300 is going to be, yeah, like you said, it's been tested, but I think what's underneath 3,300 is going to be the most important thing because right now the way they've been working after the news, after the the whole issue with Donald Trump coming out, is that they've been consolidating. It's a wide range. Yeah, it's about 35, 40 points range between 3,300 and 3,340. But below 3,300, I think there's a little bit of buying that's kind of hidden. And it's been tested before and it goes through and comes right back. So my level is 3,290 on the bottom end. If we get through 3,300, we kind of hesitate a little bit more, catch some bids. I'm open to going long underneath 3,300. If we can't get to 3,300 and catch some bids at the open, I'm willing to go long in front of it. If we break 3,290, I'm willing to go short. And on the top end, 3,365 is the level I'm looking at. 3,340 is the top end of the range. But between 3,340 and going into 3,350, there's going to be a little bit of action that I'm a little concerned about. And of course, 3,350 going up to 3,360 is a lot more interest there. So there's a big range of liquidity vacuums, as I would call them, that you've got to be concerned about. Even though the levels look obvious, there's a little bit of concentrations that are not showing up on the charts that I'd be concerned about. So 3,290 on the bottom end, 3,365 on the top end, 3,340 to going up to 3,365 is the area that I'd like to be watching for any pullbacks, quick moves after the break, or 3,300 going down to 3,390. If we get through there, I'd be concerned of a quick flush back up through there. So just keep an eye on those two levels.
Great stuff. Thanks so much, Arun. Yeah, going to be a very interesting morning, I feel. Let's have a look at NNOX real quick, guys. NanoX Imaging. So there was that Muddy Waters report that came out last month, the short seller coming out saying that they don't have a product, they don't have a business. Company came out after market yesterday, you can see, and said they're not only do they have a product, they're going to show it at a conference coming up in November. So that's the reason for this move this morning. This one feels strong to me, although it is starting to come off a little bit. We're going to watch this 33 to 35 area, a little bit of support way back when. If it gets above 33 through to 35, maybe look to the long side. But yeah, we're kind of trying to break downside here on NNOX. Another one, guys.
Yeah.
I just want to talk about Palantir quickly before we go, as we have the market open, guys, in a minute and a half. Who's ringing that bell today? A minute and a half to go. Okay, Palantir here, selling side, 1.13 million shares. You see the bid here is 9. We're at all-time lows. I mean, this stock's only 2 days old. Now it's into its third. But yeah, $9 looks like it's going to break. We are going to take that. You do have, this is me just a test, make sure that everything was up and working. We do have shortable shares now, so join us at Day Trade the World if you need to get a better locate, and we have them. So Palantir right now, 920. If that breaks, then we'll go long. Maybe 925 is the bottom there. But if I do get squeezed out of this short, then so be it, and it will be at 920 is where the squeeze will start. So we'll start it down here at 9, going short. That DPW just took off some more for a win right there. Sorry about blinding you early on here, but we'll hit this button quickly. Valeria's going to be on the bell, who you want to see much more than me. That's coming up, Neil, in 30 seconds. We're going to be opening this day.
Yeah, one last one I can give to you, loan. It's done 25 million shares, penny stock. I am short off the 62 level. Already testing the bottom at 40.53, so I've already got a nice, like 5% win on this name. And DPW as well, sliding to the downside. The only thing not working, of course, is going to be NEO, because that broke pre-market. That's why I said I was going to wait and be patient to add more shares. It looks like it might take a test at 21. 5, 4, 3. Valeria ringing that bell. She didn't wear the red, but it is a red day. She's got a little bit of red in that shirt. The market is sliding to that downside. So I do want to quickly go, jump us back over to Twilio. We anticipated this one could be a bit of a mover. It does not test off that top. I want to have this one open, create an opening range. Only a couple 100,000 shares in volume, so I'd like to see the volume step in first.
Here comes Palantir, guys. It's going to break right now. We're going to watch this market. Not much happening right now. We are getting a little bit of a rebound here in the futures. So there we go. Okay, we're short Palantir. So now we have 920 as our out, and we'll see how far this wants to go. But right now, short Palantir, 898. Let's see how far 920 wants to go, guys. That's going to be our out. It looks like it may test it, but here it comes to the upside. We want to average in a little bit, and probably around here, 912, 913. But Palantir, the only position I have on right now, guys.
Yeah, same thing here, but a DPW does slide further to the downside. Lone Star absolutely craters, and I keystroke can get out of absolutely everything. I'll show you that in a second, but NYSE is sliding down. I thought there'd be a squeeze in this one to maybe take a shot at the 40s. That's not happening, guys. It's already coming back in. Watch for a 30 level. That's going to be a key one. I told you there was going to be some concern about NEO. Yeah, here it comes up to that 21 even area. If it cannot hold this, I'll be taking another swing at 21.20, guys.
Man, there goes Palantir. So we down. That's a big one moving to the upside. Palantir. Okay, so we lost on that. We go short. We get out right where we said we would. So we stayed disciplined, but we did give back some of the money that we made earlier on. What did I say? That this market was probably going to rally into that? And yes, sure as hell it is. DPW right now, we did take some out. It's now near its very much low. Brendan, what up?
Another one from the watch list, guys. XTNT, we didn't talk about this one, but 163% here. They announced some debt restructuring plans after market yesterday. You can see just big time rejection up there at 250. So huge sell volume around 250 for XTNT if you're watching that one.
And here comes DPW to that downside, guys. We described that rollover trade for you. Started this one, just before we came on air, maybe like 15 minutes or so. But 220 is just come into play. I'm going to take some shares off here on the way down. We talked about 2 even as a possible target. Unfortunately, and I got to go with the old flush down a toilet. It hit the NEO insignia, but we didn't win on this one, guys. So it just took out the top at 21.20. Quick little reversal into the long for me. DPW working short, but NEO, that short did not work out whatsoever. It's now taking the top off. So I thought maybe we'd be selling on this news. I'm a quick little scalp trade when it breaks the high here, but I'm going to be in and out rather quickly. If my read is short, it's hard for me to hang on to the long. It's going to the upside. I'm not going to make everything back on this because I was short from the absolute bottom on NIO. I guess I should have been a believer today.
Yes, you should have been. Twilio to the downside. We did try that one as well. So we're 0 for 2 going long on Twilio, short on Palantir. It was now back into the money a little bit. We are short at 09 after getting out at basically the ultimate top. What else is new? What up, Pete?
The original SPAC, SPAQ, back to the upside here. Huge volume alert there through 14. So we had a flush at the open, but right back above 14 here on decent volume. Still down 6% for SPAQ, guys.
AMD, like some of these names are starting to head to the north side really nicely now. We talked about NVIDIA. I just wish, like I said, we're going to let stock market settle down a little bit and get going. But look at this NVIDIA bottom. Wow, what a rip out of the north side here on NVIDIA. We talked about that. And I said it was not necessarily anything wrong with these companies. It's just the fact that, yeah, the market was getting crushed today. Microsoft still down, but making a nice move back to the upside is Mr. Softy. We are going to try to take a play. I think we should probably short some of these stocks right now. What's the high of Microsoft? 209.50. Let's put it on and use 209.50 a little bit here, guys.
Yeah, and look, Twilio, the shot is going to have to be if it gives a retest of this like 277, 278. I feel like I missed the party on this one, and I did like it to the south side. Did not get myself involved. I'm jumping over to Palantir here. I just feel like the fact that it faded all the way back in is a little bit of a sign of weakness that I want to be able to play. It got up to like a 930, but for the most part, most of the volume held that 920 pre-market low, and I'll take a shot at that if it comes back in on PLTR, guys.
Yeah, the market here, guys. We're trying to short Microsoft, and we're taking a little bit more here. But yeah, it just wants to keep going upside, it looks like. And that is Mr. Softy. We'll just take a little bit more. So we are averaged into this short right now, and we're short at 209.10 on Microsoft. So it's basically a flat trade. But again, we are going to get stopped out if this thing breaks back above 209.60 or so. I'm a bull, and it's really funny that I'm thinking about short here. But based on the day, it's a Friday. We did get the job numbers in. The market could possibly fade out. But look at the NASDAQ. Just keeps going higher and higher and higher, man. This may not work out for us, but we're going to give it a go here on some of these shorts.
Yeah, and just want to let you guys know, that loan, like I said, keystroke gets me all out of it when I'm just meaning to take a little bit off. But I guess fortune's on my side if it's going to continue to go down because it just came back and gave me a re-entry in and around where I was short before at 57. I do want to leave some room from 60 to 62 if I can catch this one. So just a starter here at 56. If it moves up a few cents, I'll try to catch them again. But this broke all the way to 50. So I did have like a 15% winner on. But when I was taking a little bit out, I took it all out, reverse long, and had to cover almost instantaneously. It's going to happen to you. And I said, maybe a couple of too many names involved in the pre-market, and that could be the case. DTTW looking for a re-entry here. Talked about this one to the south side. Brennan had a good name for it. Market week, stock week, rates itself. The rebound trade, I was looking for like 245 to 250 as an entry point. It barely missed getting into there. It just missed it by like a couple of cents here. I'll take a shot again if we can get more shares, but I still have the original short from pre-market, guys.
All right, so there we go. Now finally a chicken dinner winner time right now. A nice little 60-cent win right here for Softy. Took some out to the downside here. Next bid, 68, 69. Let's just see how far we can go. The VWAP is right there at 59, so we'll see if we can't get out there as Microsoft looks like it's trying to make some moves to the downside. We've got it finally on this one. Palantir, we just took some out as well. So good little movers right here, Brendan.
Talked about waiting for a flush on this NNOX. Might be getting that here, guys. Just went from 31 to 30, but needs to get, I feel, below 30. So let's see what happens there at $30 for NNOX, guys.
Yeah, I mean, that's 30 was the level for me, and we always try to give you guys a look at the higher time frame for why I like that. It's just you watch that little ramp, and it was resistance all week, and then if it breaks down below, I think that's the sign that the squeeze might not be further on today, or I guess on at all today. So I'm waiting to see if it trades below. I almost want to see an offer below that price as opposed to just it breaks and I'm automatically shorting it. I don't like getting in that way on a more thinly traded name. And just to give you guys a look at the level 2, right now the spread's like 10, 15 cents at a time. On a break of 30, I'd expect that to open up to 20. So I'd like to see people offering below 30 before I jump into that fray.
Okay, we're just waiting for Microsoft to possibly go off to 2. I just adjusted my order here, 209.60. We're lighter on shares now because we've taken a nice little winner on a bear market here so far today. The market's bearish, but the action so far has been pretty bullish. We'll wait to see if the NASDAQ can dip down 11,350 right there. It's bounced off a couple times, so that could be a decent spot right there to look at. Twilio back, not really doing too much. We'll wait on that one. That's going to be a fun one to trade for sure once it starts going. So we're going to wait on it. Tesla 431. Yeah, man. Yesla. I know you guys like to say that. And yeah, yes. We were waiting. You won't believe this at 415. Well, you'd believe it because I told you we were. 417 is where it went down to. So we missed that trade. Microsoft, good thing we did take out some of that on the bottom because now it's getting back to the upside right now. As look at the NASDAQ, guys. Yeah, we're going to take it out of Microsoft. So it'll be roughly a flat trade after all on this, especially if it breaks through 209.60, which is our price. The market is relentless right here, Neil. Wow.
And that jobs number, look, I mean, obviously, look, we talked about this, that there was a positive unemployment and jobs numbers coming through. So you got to watch for that. I'm looking at NEO on this deliveries number, guys. I reversed to long. I told you it was a scalp because my read was short. Obviously, I should have held. That's past us now. I'm looking at yesterday's tops, 2185 to 2190, that 22 range. This is going to be where I take a shot to fade it in front of those prices. So patiently waiting for NEO to roll over. Brendan, what do you got?
Nothing new on this one, but just had an alert on Rocket Mortgage, guys. Still down about 3%, but took out that pre-market high there, 2186 on a decent volume spike. So trying to get above 22 now for RKT.
All right, Microsoft right there. We go flat on it again, and that's what that was. So right there, we tried to hold something. This is a 3-minute chart. Maybe I'll put it back down to a 1 minute, make it look a little bit better to see what we did there. Yeah, so short. Captured that, a little bit of profit there. That was about 60, 70, 80 cents. And then it takes out the top, which at that time was 209.50. We give it a little bit of love up to 209.60, and then get out right here. So that's not the greatest trade for us, but that is Microsoft. Flatted it out. The only trade that we've really lost on, we've made a lot of money on DPW, that's for sure. The only trade we've lost on is Palantir, but it did come back.
It just broke.
We did get some 95s. It's now tanking, Neil. We're 14 cents in the money on Palantir. What's that, B?
Just double checking on BoxL, guys. Alliance Global Partners raising their price target aftermarket yesterday. Yeah, nice little look here. Aftermarket, you can see a little pop here for BoxL. Still negative versus that level, but I guess that was late in the day. Yeah, that was the last hour. Back to 180 here on decent volume for BoxL, guys.
Yeah, it's going to get to a Palantir in a quick second. We come from Brendan, but I'm going to go with the flocks. I haven't hit it in a while. I got the bit of a turn here on NIO, and I'm going to show you guys. I'll give it to the high of day. I think I have that. Just maybe the best price, but we'll see what happens. I think that 22 level could also come into play, but I want to bring you back to loan. I got very, very fortunate to be able to get back into this. Accidentally got out and was able to get right back in at the same price at 56. It is headed southbound. A break of 50 is what I've been waiting for on this penny stock. It was literally half this price yesterday. I'm not saying it gives everything back, but it's fading off rather nicely. Once it breaks 50, I tend to have half the position and see if it can't roll another 10 cents down, guys. In that case, we're looking at hopefully a 25% type of return short on LONE, guys.
Okay, yeah, Nicola's going crazy. We'll find out about that. Palantir, nice little out, 894, 896. Here's Nicola for you guys. I see you guys talking about it on the chat. Normally, I am very much a bull. Come on. For Nicola, that's for sure, just because of the price action, not because of the story. But we did take out some of those pre-market levels, man. 22. I mean, it just rocketed off the open. So all the way to 25. Yahoo! Give me some of that. If we break 25 again, let's see what Nicola wants to do more to the upside. Don't know. I'll take the break of 25. Would rather hear if there is something about it, but it's flat on the day. So it's not like this is like a big runner here. It's just a huge move off that bottom. We'll look to see about 25.05, and then we'll test that long as well, guys.
Yeah, and Neil, I mean, 21.50 turns on a bit of a dime. This might turn into, we talked about 15 cent scalps on Neo. That might be all we get out of this trade because on that dime at 21.50, we did take some out there a couple of times there in front of 55. So we're able to get like that 10-cent win. But man, Neo is feeling pretty strong here, and I don't want to fight it. I have a bunch of other shorts on that I'm probably going to end up having to be more confident in. I'll give it to this recent high of day, and then I'm just going to throw the stop, see if it wants to run. PLTR is running to the upside, and I'm looking like I want to fade into that one. So if it holds at 9.15, I'm likely to jump into some more shares. But for now, Neo, not going to let this one take the top off. If the initial read is not going to be right, then it would fade. I don't want to dig too deeply. If it turns over and breaks 21.50, fantastic. But I'm tightening my stop up just a little bit because I don't want to get caught.
Oh, man, Twilio bouncing. Looks like we get out at almost the very worst spot there on Twilio. Here, we'll call it up again for you just to show you what we wound up doing on that name. Long. It does break through 270. This was the bottom, 273 and change. It goes all the way down to 275. But now right back to VWAP, which is why I want to look at it one more time. That is Twilio. So 279, we're still bouncing around. If we bring this back out just a little bit, it's just a very, very choppy open. We're right here at that level. 278, I think, on Twilio could be a good one once it does finally break that. But 277.75. We'll do another little tester long here on Twilio. 277.75. Brendan, what's up?
Not seeing anything significant, guys, on Nikola. There was a Yahoo reporter, Yahoo Finance aftermarket yesterday, kind of reiterating that note we already knew, suggesting GM may, in fact, increase their stake in the company. Other than that, a little bit of relative strength, possibly, guys.
I'm going to show you this one, CEMI, Chem Biodiagnostics. This was on the watch list. It was near the bottom of the list. And this is why you want to get it, guys, and why you want to follow along, because there might be actionable trades here. I am in position on this one in the pre-market. DPW was obviously a great one, but this was nearly as good as a rollover. And I just got what is almost the best price. Actually, it's the best price since the open. In front of 520, that 525 level where the rollover started. I'm taking shares out southbound of 5 even. So I got a 518 short on. If it holds below 5, I want half my position and see if it can't slide down a little bit further than that. But a nice winner here on Chem Bio, another name from the watch list. I want to jump back into what is now cratering, and I want to make sure I let you guys know that this loan, every time it pops up, it's the same story. It's going to come back down. It's just a matter of how far. It just broke 50, getting some out at 46. So a quick 10-cent winner on this name. I'm short here at 56. 40 cents is my target to the downside. I'll be all out if it gets in and around that price. Maybe hang on to 10, 15% at most, guys.
Okay, we're also waiting to get a little bit more short here on Apple as we're just trying to play it off of this high of 114.60. The market, though, again, if it takes it out, we're going to reverse long on Apple because we're not going to let the NASDAQ just control this whole thing. If it wants to break the high, then we'll go long on the most heavily attached stock to the NASDAQ. That is Apple. What's up, Brad?
Another big mover here, guys. Janus Henderson Group. Janus Henderson up on news that Nelson Peltz Tryon has a 15% stake in the company. So JHG, big, huge volume spike there through 25. 18% on the day, but nice look for JHG, guys.
And nice look for NIO here, guys. It just broke down below that 2150 again. So I sort of said it and it caught myself because I was about to say I got about as good a price as it's going to be, but it hasn't really slid too far past that mark. The breakout was at 2120. That's where I had that very, very brief scalp long. I didn't want to be holding on to it, but I did get it on the way back in here. So let's see if we can't run this back down to that 2120 on NIO. A little bit of sell the news action here. I'm going to take shares off, of course, in case there's some consolidation right in around that price. I can tell you CEMI and DPW working, but that PLTR, I'm digging it in front of that 930. If you remember yesterday, 930 was that bottom. If it's going to be the top, it's got to hold. Otherwise, I'm peeling that short off rather quickly. Jumping back over to Twilio, this is one name which is starting to head towards that high. The play is going to remain the same for me. It rolls off of that high. I'll take a short in front with a reversal long. So it's 283. That's the actual, 282 is the high I have here. I'm breaking long if it takes that. Otherwise, looking to short right in front of it.
Yeah, we're small in the money, but we're in the money still 20 cents or so on Apple. We just tried to get some out at 114, but it didn't go down that far. It went only as far as 09. We were bidding 08, so we will wait on that one. Hopefully we get a little bit of news on that to go to the upside or downside back for Apple. But watch the NASDAQ, like I said, looking to take out the top. What's up, B?
Another vaccine-related name here, AstraZeneca, guys, looks like moving back to the upside. They've resumed their trial in Japan. Apparently one of the patients involved in the trial fell ill, so it was paused for a period, but they just announced it has resumed once again, guys.
All right.
AstraZeneca back coming in there, guys. I mean, obviously, we're waiting for that news. Lots of other names, which I think you want to keep your ear to the ground. We talked about the airline space, so any deal that might come from the U.S. government when it comes to a relief package, you've got to make sure. Look, obviously, we've got Brennan. He's going to give you that news, but you got to be paying attention. I know I literally missed something on Rocket yesterday, and multiple people had to remind me. I want to jump back over to Semi here. This is the low. Right at the open, I was able to get some shares out at 491, short here at 518. If it breaks this 490, I want to see if we can't take out that 481 bottom, but it's worth noting, this is exactly where it was yesterday. So to expect much deeper of a retracement is a little bit greedy. I feel like 480 is a great out. If it goes down there, I'll be all flat on CEMI. And of course, this one was on the watch list as well.
Okay, so we're going to try to short, we are shorting it right now, CCL. So we got some 45s, we got some 49s. Average price 47 right now on CCL. So just coming back down. Again, my bias is probably going to kill me today because I'm obviously going going to be short bias, and look at the NASDAQ just coming up. I don't know why that's obvious. I mean, the trend is up here right now. Just wondering, here we go. Darn it, the NASDAQ's going to take this out. We're short CCL, good tried anyways. It is right here, good now in the money, a couple pennies as we go. We also just took Nikola. We're long Nikola, 25.10 right here. What's up, B?
Another one moving here, guys. CGC, they've been, the cannabis names have been strong all week long. My daily chart is not loading for some reason, but oh, there we go. Back to the upside, just broke that pre-market pivot there, 14.10 on decent volume, guys.
14.10, you say. We're getting out right now. CCL just took a little bit of profit on that one, so a good trade. Apple goes upside, and then we went long. So let's wait to see now. As I told you, the market's going to break. We will go a little bit long here on Apple. And again, not holding this too long. I don't want to get whipped around, man. We were thinking short. Now we're all of a sudden switched long. So let's just wait to see as the NASDAQ just continues to go upside. So I do like everything here. We did take Nikola off quickly there. In at O's, out at 25. We do that all the time. Still got some on, though. I thought we got hit on CCL at 43, but we did not. So we'll wait to see on that one. We're short 47 still, guys.
Yeah, and Twilio just took the top off, so from short into the long, the break at 282. I'll see if I can't take some out on the way up. A couple of levels here. We talked about them, and let's go here, just show you the daily chart again. We was at 287, and of course that high. Going right back into mid-July, it was like 293 and change or so. So some targets for you to the upside on Twilio. If we can get there, it looks like it's going to be a nice little break for us. I do want to make sure we jump to NNOX. I still have not made an execution in NNOX here, but I was hoping it would hold below that 30 even. It doesn't even break the pre-market low before bouncing back to the upside, so I'm going to hold off on NNOX for now. Brennan, what do you got?
Great to see everyone with us this morning, guys. If you're joining us for the first time, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. We're on our way to 100,000 subs, so make sure you do hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and like the video as well. One from yesterday, guys. CAG, Conagra, reported earnings yesterday. They got a big flush to the downside. Not so much today, back above 37. Decent level for CAG, guys.
Whoa, CCL just completely reverses itself. So we did get some out there, but then it completely goes to the upside. We just have a little baby long by just because of what's left over. So we'll get out of it. We lose on CCL, but it's not a horrible trade. We weren't really building anything into it. I would much rather see this top, see if we can't take that off. Basically, the biggest position that I have on right now is this Apple trade. So we'll wait to see if it can go upside. We're long right now, basically at the high 114.50. We did talk about NASDAQ taking out that high, and of course, as soon as it does, we get long, and then it starts to reverse again. So pretty choppy, man. If this breaks through 11.25, as I said, we got to find some levels here, man. This market has to settle itself down. So we will lose on this Apple long. It looks like getting close to getting out right now. It's too bad because we were short, got blown out, and that's what happens when you play these ranges on a day when it's been pretty choppy so far, man. So you got to watch out for this bottom here of 114, but whatever. We've already missed the bottom there. We should have had Apple and still held it, but we did get blown off just off the top. If we wait like 5 more pennies, then we're still short, but that's trading, guys.
Yeah, I'm going to take a few more shares off on this NIO here as it tests up towards that high without breaking it, so bit of a rollover. Not going to add to the position. I'm still needing it to hold below 21.50. I have taken more profit off for that 10-15 cent range. It has the feel of like maybe it's just going to be a scalp trade. I still have enough on board that if we get the real flush, I'll be very, very pleasantly, very happy if we get back down to that 21.20 area. That's around where that breakout was. That's why I reversed into a long trade again, a quick little scalp trade. I didn't actually hold on to it very long. I didn't have the, I guess the gumption or the belief that we're going to go to yesterday's close, which is exactly what happened before this turnaround that you're seeing in NIO. To jump you guys back over, and I want to give a quick update. We're all looking at DTTW, of course, on that retracement play. It continues to be a relatively quiet trade, I guess is the best way to think about it, but it's about to take out this 220 again. If this happens, I think a test at that low. I'm waiting for my next exit around that 9 or 215 area. 2 even is my ultimate target. I'm not going to be greedy and try to take too much more than that, guys. So if I get all out in front of 2, then everything is gone to plan. If it breaks 265, I'll be thinking about breakout longs. That's the only price I'm going long today on DPW would be through 265.
Let's just see, DPW. I'll have to look back at that one because we are still in it, but it's been my biggest stock by far. I'm actually going to cancel because I did have that 265 there as well. You got to make sure that you double check all of your orders, your pending orders and whatnot. Make sure you get those canceled through. We were looking at DraftKings earlier on. I might have mentioned it a little bit in the pre-market. We haven't traded anything today, but look at this move, man. DraftKings in the pre-market all the way from the bottom. And again, we missed like all of these pre-market breaks. So it's you're really quite bad here. 59.97 would have been a great long, man. Breaking right through 60. That's the high of the day. That should have been hammered by us, but we missed it. And all the way to 61 and change almost. I think that's close to new highs again. But here it comes right back down to VWAP. I was just looking at this area, 60.80. If we can get back above here, that's probably worth a quick little scalp to the long side, up to 61.50-ish if we can get that. We traded DraftKings really well yesterday, so we'll look for more spots to get in on this name. What's up, Brand?
Looks like a negative one here, Mesoblast. Looks like they got FDA declined to approve a transplant rejection treatment that they were working on. So big move down here for MESO, 37%. A little bit thinly traded, but another one to look at, guys, if you're looking for some negativity today.
From Brennan, we'll go yeehaw action, and it's going to be NIO. It does finally give that rollover directly into that sort of 2120 target. You're going to see me work out of some shares here as it does break through that 40. We're short up here at 2167, guys, so 2165. And then I still have a little bit on in case there's a bigger flush, but I can now go ahead and throw these shares back into that, or just my stop, to 2175. And if it comes all the way back down to 21, fair enough. Or break even-ish is going to be my out. So successful trade on NIO. I did start this with a bad short. Thankfully, we were able to make it back. If I'd held on to that long, it'd be even better. But I did not. That was not in the plans. I was looking for a place to fade into the news. Patience is a virtue. Getting it in the pre-market, I said, could be tricky. It ends up costing me some money there. But now we have a successful trade on, and I can stop this one out at 2180.
Okay, so CCL also a big one there. We did get hit, but then we go more shares short again. You can see there. We've made it all back, but it's obviously position pending as we start to get out now 43, 42. So good trade on CCL. We're bidding 50s, and we were waiting for more at 59 upside. So, sorry, we're bidding 39s. So here we go. Just got to break through 40, and we'll get out a little bit here on CCL. But look, you can see the win on this one. A nice little win here on CCL. We're going to average into our Nicola. What's up, Bren?
NNOX, guys, this is why you need to have your outs. Little consolidation there. I mentioned that big ugly red candle that came in, but back to the upside here. 30.80 if you were short was the place to get out. We're up to 32 again, guys.
All right. Nicola, oh man, Nicola, not Nicola, sorry, CCL there. We just got some out 41s, 42s, 43s, making sure that we put some of this profit into our pocket. Nicola, that's what I want to talk about quickly. Nicola, we are bidding here some 60s, as it looks like that might have been the stop spot here. Maybe we'll get a little bit more here on Nicola if we can. There we go. Did we get filled there? Yes, we did, 77. So let's just wait to see how high this one wants to go back to backside. If it can get up to 25 and change, let's clear some of that out because we've averaged in nicely now up to, well, it's the same price, $24.99. I'm trying to get some more shares down here, so I guess we have to wait for that. And then we'll just use 24 as the bottom. That's where VWAP is. Nicola's a scary one, man, because anything can come out at any time, as you guys know. But let's just wait to see. The momentum on this stock definitely to the high side, and here we go. So a nice little price there. Let's see how high we can go.
Yeah, I'm just going to throw up the 15 minutes so you can see going all the way back to the parabolic move up on NNOX. Since it's held this little bottom, you're looking at these spikes to 33. Now, we broke 33 just a few minutes ago and turned around 20 cents lower. The squeeze could really be in on this one. And of course, this is Muddy Waters, I think, the ones with the report for the short sell here. If it breaks 33.20, such a hard bounce off that bottom. I wanted to see it hold below 30. Didn't happen. 33.20. I'll just take a momentum along through, anticipating a possible squeeze. And I'm not shorting it until it fails at, like, I don't know, 40, 42, or break down at 30. So in the middle, it's only going to be a breakout, anticipating that squeeze. And NNOX 33.20 is the price.
All right, I saw the note there about more Titans players testing positive, but for DraftKings, but it doesn't seem to really matter about this stock to the downside. So 60.88, we're getting close to that number right now as well. Okay, CCL, my biggest position by share size is on board right now. That's why you're seeing me clear some out. We go short, 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 short. We get cleared out at the very top. What a surprise! Doesn't even go that much against us. And then we started cashing out right here now down near VWAP. If you want to know what is VWAP and why we're using it, there's a couple of videos we've posted on our stock market Wisdom page. Make sure you do find out that website. It's on YouTube, Stock Market Wisdom by Trader TV Live. We're getting out some at VWAP. If VWAP does break, though, I do have some bids down here in the 30s. Hopefully we can get some coverage there. Okay, our boy Nicola, there we go. We get that fill at 60. Now we're waiting for this consolidation area down here. If this breaks, then that's where we'll get out finally out of all the shares there on Nicola. We are long, so it's definitely not going to be a winner, but we are right now into that consolidation period spot. There we go. We take another long there at 37. Now the momentum's coming down for us. So Nicola, this one not looking great, but our average price now down into the 80s. So if we just now get back to this consolidation area, then I do like it. But again, this is a trade that we're comfortable with. Nicola not in the news yet, still up 1.5% into a weak market. So I do like this position. Let's just see if it can go. We'll get some back out if we can get back into the 90s, guys.
Worst trade of the day alert here, and I'm going to go with, I don't know, it's been a roller coaster on this ride. You can have a call all you want, but if you can't execute it properly, you're not going to make any money. And the problem here in Twilio is I got trailed out on the way back downside. Did not necessarily give it enough room when you have a $4 target. I was giving it, I thought it was reasonable to give it a couple of bucks here to the downside. Probably should have given it like 3 or 4. It just broke through that first target. So if you did hang on to this one on that break, congratulations. Next level up is that 293 area. So watch as that might approach here. The only thing I actually came in sort of with a bullish breakout look on outside of possible short squeezes in NNOX was Twilio, and there it is. There's a long for you, and I don't have it on because I got stopped out when it made that little pullback, guys. It happens. You move on to the next trade. It might be a fade if it gets to 293, but for now I'm waiting for a pullback to be able to maybe buy off that 280.
Okay. Yeah, Twilio, tough one for me today as well. We did take that bath on that stock. Okay, it wasn't a bath. It was a small loss, but I did like Twilio, and like this was what I was doing. Buying it down here, unbelievable to lose when we're all the way up here now. And I was literally buying it. We just should have given it a little bit more room. We're going to learn about that later on. I'm going to try to figure out why I got out there and maybe bring it back to a little bit of a larger time frame there. This is when the market was very much in turmoil, not before this rip. So we got to wait out for that. We got to wait for the moves, man. We got to be a little smarter on Twilio. Let's check out Starbucks. Speak of the devil. Hey, Valeria, what's up? We're going to look at Starbucks right now. Your favorite stock. If you didn't know that was her favorite stock, it means you haven't watched her journey. So that's on there as well. Valeria's journey here to Trader TV Live, how she became a member of our team. You can check that out on the Stock Market Wisdom page. Yeah, Starbucks again. Look at this, man. I hate looking at these stocks because we should have, again, not we should have. I mean, there's a lot of stocks bouncing off VWAP, but what a great spot there. That's the bottom. That's where VWAP was. Then you missed that upside move, so boo on that one. Nicola still trying to go, man. We got as high as 60 there. I need to get it to 80 before we get anything out. Otherwise, we're going to retest the bottom, and unfortunately, we will flush ourselves down the toilet if that breaks back down through 24. That's Nicola. I'm kind of hands off right now. Look at the market. It's not really doing anything, so I'm going to have to try to search for some more options here to trade. Not options as in the asset class, but just more things to look at here as some of these names that I'm trading rate just really aren't doing anything, and neither is the market. So let's find something for you.
Yeah, continuing to roll over, and I'm going to keep showing you guys this one from time to time periodically when I'm taking some executions out in loan and little Lone Star action. So maybe I'll use some Spaceballs references because that's one of my favorite movies. But as this breaks down towards this low at 45, I mean, at least the opening range low, I will continue to take shares off. I still think I will always have something on in case we get a move down to 40. And my shorts are all at 56. It was 58, 57, 58 that were short the first time. It's 56 the second time. 40 is the ultimate target on loan. It's actually been one of the top stocks today for me, but all to the short side. It is 10 o'clock, guys. That means we need to get to the big screen with Brendan for Happening Now.
Hey guys, yeah, consumer sentiment number out there at 10 o'clock actually better than expected for last month, 80.4 versus 79. So a little help coming. I mean, we're already moving back to the upside, as you can see. 0.7 now for the S&P, the Dow about 0.5%. Look at the NASDAQ as well. This was 2% plus when we first sat down this morning. So nice recovery underway. The Russell as well, still negative territory, about 1%. S&P TSX here in Toronto, 0.4% down in Brazil. They are positive already. That was negative as well. The BOVESPA, I mean, when we sat down this morning, a couple of things from the watch list still moving around. This space gave you a couple of great opportunities. 1930 here, the pre-market high. Look at this right now, taking out this little pivot high as well. 1965, 1970, $20 an area from yesterday afternoon to be careful of if you are watching Virgin Galactic. INO, man, this was a good spot. I missed this, but yeah, 1220, 1215. Big time rejection there after the move higher off the open. We're all the way back to 1180. So nice little fade opportunity on INO. Also on the watch list, we talked about the airlines, guys. This one, a little bit of relative weakness as far as SAVE is concerned. Coming into this 1590-16 area, which was support here yesterday, got rejected there. So let's see what happens when we get back to the high on SAVE. Guys, back over to you.
Could it be squeezing again? NNOX here through the top. I just got triggered into the long. I talked about this, I don't know, like a couple of minutes ago, that maybe we take out that high. The fact that it held that 30 area, it actually got down to like 29 and change. A bit of a strong sign for it, I guess. But let's remember, guys, muddy waters with the big short report, the parabolic move to the upside. It's going to be a volatile name. Got to make sure we give it some room here. I was looking at this level to the upside, going into like the 18th or so. It got like 36.50 would be the next obvious place upside, but I will take scalps off like 50, $1, that sort of thing before we get into that. I guess what would be a $3 move upside on NNOX. I'm not endorsing the stock. It's just a pure momentum play. Thank you very much, everybody. Only a half an hour half an hour into the market and an hour into the show, and we already hit 1,000 likes. That means we're definitely going to get that astronaut action for when we hit 2,000. I know we have an awesome graphic that we don't always get to show off if we don't get to 2,000 likes, guys. So there it is over my face. Smash the likes, and you'll get to see Valeria dance it off. I want to quickly go back to a couple of names here. One is DTTW. We're all short in this one. Watch out as it's trying to test back to the upside. If it gets to 265, I'm all out on this stock.
And bang, thank you very much. Chicken winner dinner finally here for Nicola. Now 50 cents in the money. Bang, 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 bang. We talked about buying that one all the way to the upside, and there it is. Crashing to victory here is Nicola. We're long now, 24.58. Positive stock for us, that's for damn sure. We did reload pretty heavily too on CCL up to the upside there. It does go all the way down to 53. I mean, I can show Valeria here. My bid is literally at 53 to get out there. We do not get hit. I guess it goes only to 54 on the bid. So we were at 53. Randomly picking spots, sometimes not a good idea. But here goes Nicola back to the upside. This is not going to be a random spot at all. 25.20 is sort of where we stopped there. We did have some consolidation on 11s and 10s, so we got to get some of this out, man. Celebrate Nicola. We held this for a while. Pigs get slaughtered, so let's make sure that we do wind up getting some out. We'll take some out right here again at 99 if I can get it. But right now, NASDAQ holding. We just need a little bit of a bump up there. We'll get out some 99s. Right now, the spread 4 or 5 pennies, so you got to be weary of that. But right now, Nicola, a nice little 35-cent win to the upside. Got to get some out, though, because, yeah, it looks like it's hitting off of this $25 mark. So, Nicola, nice little 40-cent win, but it's only win if you take the profit off. We were lucky enough to get some out at 25, but then just missed that 99 right there.
Yeah, just continuing to slide down. I want to update you on CEMI. This, of course, was on our watch list as well. I just got some shares out at 86, and I told you guys this, that 481 was the low. Just some post-market prints. Pre-market prints there on dark pools, but that also coincides with what was heavy sideways action yesterday. To expect it to go any further on a retracement when it's giving you everything back, I can't do that, so I'm going to get it all out right here, right now. It's a nice win. It's not a monster, but when you have like 2 entry points, first at 508 and the other one here at 519, if I can take off like 25, 35-cent wins on this stock, be very, very happy. You get the last of it out exactly at target. So there's nothing wrong with that, guys. Twilio, yeah, I see you, Luis. What happened with Twilio? You stopped going long. I did stop going long because I got stopped out. I threw a stop in there, and this is one thing I actually just talked about here a couple of seconds ago, well, not a couple of minutes ago. I did have a stop out. It got triggered. It was a good long break. There were 2 targets to the upside. It already took out the first. It looks like it's taking out the second. Buying at the top on a revenge, when that happens to me and I get sort of wicked out and I almost made the bottom wick on that retracement play, For me, then buying back into it very hastily there, that's just not something I want to be doing. It's like a revenge trade. I'm buying $6 or $7 away from where I thought would be a nice entry point, and then running into what I'm anticipating would be a little bit of resistance at 293. It's just not a trade I'm going to look to make, guys. But you can have a call all you want. You got to actually have the proper execution of any strategy. Direction was good. Execution was not.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about Twilio calls and executions, guys. We were long at 275. Like, damn it, that's a mistake there. But what we're not making a mistake on is this one. It's a chicken dinner winner right now for Nicola. Man, this is 75 cents in the money. We just keep getting it out. This is why we love this trade. We gave it to you. We talked all about Nicola down here, where my outs were, everything like that. So if you're rocking with me, let's do a little bit of a floss off right now. We just got to worry about our CCL position, but we do have upside targets on that one. High today will be out. What's up, B?
Look at this market. Yeah, new highs on the market as well. PACB, guys, 6% here. I just had to go out to a daily chart. I remember there was a buyout deal that was announced on this thing way back when, going back to the end of 2019. But yeah, glad they didn't take that price because we just touched $13 on PACB. JP Morgan with an upgrade on this one today, guys.
Okay, that's interesting. Just going to go back to a Palantir here. It tests at 930 again, so I'm going to roll in some more shares at 9. Looks like we got 920 here. Some more into this little short. Basically, it's going to be almost exactly my price. I got 17s as an average price. I'm taking it out in front of 9. I'm holding in the event of a 9 break. It's worth keeping in mind. There's not a heck of a lot to look at. When you go to the charts, I'll show you a 3, just so you can see only a couple of sessions of trade that it's had. But there was already consolidation off that 9 area yesterday. 930 area yesterday. That's why I like this level. And then a bit of a double bottom here, pre-market opening range, and now again off of 9 even. So profits in front of 9 is reasonable. I'd like to see if it can't break lower. The reference price doesn't mean anything, but it was 725.
277.85. That's hilarious. I just looked at a pending order for Twilio at 277.85. So when it broke this level like we gave to you guys, it was right here. 277.85 was this little top right there. It was 277.75. I only crossed up 10 cents. Oh, man, what a fun day this has been. Okay, Nicola right now, man, what an out. We get out right there at this previous resistance. So now we hold less than 10% of our position as we cleared it all out to the upside. Nicola up that amazing 4.5% today. So thank you to all of our viewers for that one, because that was definitely not on my radar whatsoever. There was Nicola. So we're able to take that to the upside there. Nice trade. My biggest win today is going to last with DTTW, as that's still moving around, but we're out of that one. I'm holding a very, very small amount. Just going to give it back to this little spot where we got out first time, 240. We'll give it to that. That's where we initially got in. Nicola still moving to the upside. Palantir, I like what Neil's talking about on this name. We got out of our initial long up there. This was a huge mistake. Look at the early on, short. We believe in the short. We did cash out some of that short, but this pot, bad trade all the way up to the upside, hits through VWAP, breaks through the high of the day. We get out, hasn't even retested that. So maybe loading up Palantir up here, not a horrible idea if you're doing that. What's up, B?
There was a revision, guys. Just trying to open up the calendar here, but there was a revision on the July jobs number as well. Better than expected, 1.76 million versus 1.74 million. That was first reported. Also, the unemployment rate, 7.98 versus 7.6. So the unemployment rate was better than expected both last month and in July as well. Also wanted to show you this one, Kohl's, guys. Some of the retailers just popping through on volume scanners here. We had Kohl's through day highs at 19, still down 2%, but moving up, guys.
And I mean, guys, Nicola is all we could say. So we'll do, I don't know, what are we going to do? We've already hit a lot of things. We'll go bullish. We'll get the bullish action on Nicola. This is $1.20 now in the money on NKLA. And we're still going up and away. It looks like Nicola will even break even higher right now. So no real targets on this name. We did have some consolidation in this area just yesterday, 25.80 or so. We did break this high. I'd love to get to 26.40. My next target out, probably right around 26 is a good spot too. I'll get another position out here, 26. If we can get that spot, then we'll do it, man. A nice little win on that. So we will hit a cowbell for that. Nice little win upside. We'll see if we put an order here around 26. Take that out for a $1.50 win. That is NKLA. Good name.
from what might be a fantastic and near perfect out in NEO. Talked about that 21 quarter area. That was around where the breakout happened. Just reversed into the long. I told you I had very, very little left when it took out that 21.75. I did double long here, and the reason why is first trade is into 22. So I wanted to break out, scalp into 22, and that's only going to be like 10, 15 cent wins, like I said. But the second entry point, I wanted to have some that I can hold on to. So this is almost like, treat it like a secondary trade. It's for less shares in the first, but looking for an expanded move in NEO. And just to give you an idea, this is sort of the breakout that you're talking about. This was yesterday's top at 22 even. Maybe we retest from a couple sessions ago, Wednesday, 22.60 would sort of be like an ultimate target. But let's see if NEO can continue to run. I came in thinking I was going to fade it. That did not work. I waited patiently for re-entry. That short was a good one. And now we have a couple of longs on a nice scalp that we just took off. And then, of course, this other long, which currently in the money about 20 cents. I'm looking for anywhere from 25 cents for the first third, second third 40 to 50. And then if it takes off the top, I'll have a little bit on board. That's 22.60 from Wednesday.
Yeah, we're making a slight mess with CCL, so we will get some out there at some 66s. It's basically right at my out price, 1471, if I'm sure. Let me just make sure where my price was to get out. Yeah, 1471. So we get very, very close to that. It comes back down to 66. We take some out. Look, my average price is 59. It's not going to be a big hit, but if this market keeps going up, man, I just don't want to be holding CCL. We did talk about a lot of things around this stock, especially if the stimulus package does get hit. We have to watch out for CCL. So watch out for that name. We are waiting for that. I did want to give a big shout out to everybody here because I don't want to forget anybody. Lori, thank you so much. Big member. Thank you so much. Lori, you're always so active in the chat and on Twitter and everything. There goes CCL out. So that's there. David Keck, thank you so much for becoming a member. John Wilkins, semi-short, thank you so much for that one. JB3, welcome to the membership board. And Ralph, you're here. You're amazing, my friend. You continue to support us and we love you for that. Thank you so much, Ralph. That is a little bit of a chat review. And with that, maybe this is why we're getting all the love here, because Brendan is ready to rock and roll right now with our upgrades and downgrades. We don't need more names, but here they come.
Yeah, definitely lots to look at this morning. Let's check out some upgrades and downgrades on this side. Upgrades, downgrades over there. Visa is struggling here. I noticed American Express as well struggling a little bit as well, even with a couple of upgrades. Walmart in negative territory this morning. It was upgraded. We talked about Pepsi earlier in the week. This one, obviously, the big winner of the day. Not a lot to look at over here. Select Energy, I'll show you that one in a second here, but Dexcom also weak to the downside. Not a lot of volume on either of those, though. Twilio, what can you say? All-time highs up here for Twilio touch this morning. Yeah, pretty good look there through that pre-market high, 282. $10 move to the upside for Twilio on huge volume. This is that Select Energy, again, a little bit thinly traded, still getting some volume spikes, but 370 down to 335 and change, 10% now. Energy stocks in trouble so far, guys.
Holy crap, Nicola, still, yeah, energy stock's been in trouble for a while, man. Oil, just what a horrible. I'll call up the XOM chart for you guys in a minute. It's absolutely disastrous. Okay, 26.30 to the high side there. What a win here on Nicola, man. We're in the money $2. So slapshot winner for that one. On that biggest percent winner there for me today is going to be on Nicola. It is what that is. CCL, though, we did talk about getting blown out there. Of course, we get blown out the top, and then it starts coming back in a little bit. That's happened to us a couple of times. And we did save a few pennies there as it goes all the way to 75, but now we're coming right back in here on CCL. So may build another short into this one, but I don't want to, like I said, sometimes I get caught too much on the bias of one side. So I don't want to pretend like CCL is only going down. So we won't just keep shorting it for no reason. We need to find our spots and pick them. And right now, it doesn't look like a good one for CCL.
Speaking of only going down, this is going to be the best one for me. I'm going to do backflips on this. When I tweeted this one out, I actually said I got very, very fortunate to get back in on loan. This is one of those ones where it was an obvious a sort of short opportunity off of a 60 to 62 even area. I was able to get it in the pre-market. I accidentally keystroked out of the entire thing and reversed long. And then 2 minutes later, I get the same entry price on the way back up. And usually I'll wait on the way down, but I had to have this one, so I did take it on the way up. I just got almost everything out in front of 40. That was the target we gave here. So I'm starting to get a little more aggressive covering this one. At 57s and 56 shorts all the way into now like 41 cents. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, guys. But NNOX, I said this is more of like a squeeze play. Yeah, this one, Twilio, I got sort of stopped out on the reversal. Wasn't going to let that happen to me. I was going to give it at least down below that 32 area. Just took some out in front of 34 for almost $1 win. Next target's in front of 35. We'll try to get to $1.50 to $2 on that next little bit. And from there, if the squeeze is truly on here now, Muddy Waters with their short report, there's a lot of room for this one to go, guys. I'm going to quickly show you the 15-minute, how crazy, of course, this stock has been. For me, there's this 36.50 area. If it gets past that, I mean, nothing till 42. My favorite number. That's what I wore in baseball. Brendan, what do you got?
Not seeing any news on this one, but Zoom leading here as well today, guys. We broke through that level, 482 right off the bat this morning. It's up to 506 near these highs on the daily chart. 4% for Zoom today.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. Like, there's just so many easy trades. And I think Zoom is just one of those other ones, Brendan. And the reason why, obviously, with COVID back in touch now, more people are going to be scared with that. And Zoom making moves to the upside. We're going to get out right here, 25.35 break on Nikola. It does rip all the way up here, man, 26.30. That gives us 2 clean bucks. We're going to make sure that we take out at least $1 and change on this one. Back downside, 25.35 on a break. But Nikola, man, what a great run that's been. My number one, no, it's not DPW still, but Nikola close to my number one stock on the day right there. Palantir now making some moves back to the downside. We did take some 17s there. I don't know. I thought I had some orders up near 25. I guess not. That's a typical spot for me up there at 25. So not sure why we missed that, but now we'll wait to see for a 9 break. But I got to put some orders back upside here. This is a great little shorting opportunity.
Yeah, Sean, I want to quickly jump in because remember yesterday, and for those of you that were not watching Palantir, both Sean and I were shorting this one when the bid would get to a resistance point, and it was like 950 and 980 that this happened, and the bid would just evaporate for 5 or 10 cents. That just happened again. So I loaded up in front of 930, and I think that price from yesterday, that bottom, that hard bottom, could turn into that support for us or resistance for us. If it stalls out here at 910, it's still a solid win. 20 million shares is good. I'll take everything, almost everything out in front of 9 even. I'm still looking for a 9 break, but it looks like we found a decent level here, shorting 20 to 25 for me with a 930 stop because that was the price from yesterday. You don't have much to go off of when it just started trading a couple of sessions ago, so I'll take that. I'll take these levels and run away with them if I can.
I was just looking. I want to short something now. I think the market's probably come back in a little bit, and I'm just wondering again, but I don't want to get caught with one way or the other. So we may wait, but NQ's 11,400 maybe. I don't know, man. It looks really good. There's Palantir, good out on that one. We'll wait to refresh that to the upside. Nikola's still going. We're not out of that one yet. And basically what I'm looking at here is Softy, possibly already made that high at 211. Nice to see Microsoft come to 211. Let's take a look on a little bit of a bigger chart. You can see some tops here. That's 214. We're nowhere near 211. The 50 period is 211 on the daily chart. So we're right at some interesting spots right now. But look at the NASDAQ, man. Just as you think it's weak, you just had some reload opportunities down here in Microsoft. Not short, the other way around, guys, here on Microsoft. So, yeah, Microsoft, Apple. I was actually looking also to short Facebook, but like I said, sometimes you get caught in the bias and you do not. Like I came in today, obviously, there's blood in the streets, and like Warren Buffett says, maybe that is the time to buy when there is that blood in the streets. But hey, man, everything is so high. 265 here on Facebook seems like a great spot to short. Let's check a daily chart on that one as well. If I'm going to dip something into it, I mean, it's not even that good here. We're all at the 50 periods, man. This is decision time right now for a lot of these NASDAQ stocks. So let's decide on something here. There goes Nikola again to the upside, testing that 26. We're still long. My net keeps fluctuating with the Nikola trade, so we are going to keep on watching that one. Oh, wow. It's Neil, did you want to say anything before we throw it? I was talking too long there.
No, I mean, Neil went up as well, again through 22. I'm still hanging on to that trade, looking for 22.25. But, man, the time is flying here. It's already 10:20. I've got to get over to Brendan because it's small cap recap time, boys and girls.
Lots to look at this morning right across the board, including in small cap world. We mentioned this one as soon as we came on at 9 o'clock. Codex, CODX with some positive news gapping up this morning through 15. So it did reject immediately at that 15 level. So it was just working off of 15 here on this pop just before the open, I guess it was, back towards that 15 area. Above that, you got to go to the daily chart for the next level, which is this pivot on the daily chart, 1550 up to about 1575. But there was buyers here at 14. So they were defending that 14 big time. Finally did break. We're on the way down to 1350 now. For CODX. SRNE, Sorrento, we talked about 1120, 1130. There was an area on the daily chart. This all happened in the pre-market, so a nice break of this consolidation back down to where it was trading yesterday. Pretty straightforward as far as structure on that one. CEMI, we were all looking at this one. A nice little shelf here in the pre-market above 520, 525. Give you an opportunity to work into a few positions there depending on your style. But 490, 480. Down to about 475 seems to be support here. There are buyers coming in. You can see the volume still pretty high on that one. Want to mention this one as well. I had to take a shot here. There was a consolidation below 31. Had to take a shot on the short side, but out 31 there. And good thing I did because we're all the way to 34 on NOX, guys.
Yeah, I'm still hanging on to that one. I took some out as well, Brendan, but this one looking like it's having some trouble getting through 35 even, so I'm to the long side, but I want to quickly jump back over to PLTR. It did break down towards that 910, and it's like, you know, every sort of round number seems like it just turns into a bit of support or resistance if it's on the way up. So I did take some more shares off right when I saw, and it's not huge size, but the way the stock has been trading, it'll just sort of glide down and see some size on a level and bounce back up. And if I want to be shorting on every single pop, I'm going to take profits off at like 11, 12, 13. And it comes back up and shows me 24, 25. I'll get back into it again and then rinse and repeat. So if I want to be active in it, that's what I'm going to have to do. It looks like it's a good idea because it's starting to head back to the upside. Now, I don't want to be covering shorts on a 925 break because 930 was the level from yesterday. On this move right at the open, it couldn't get through that 930. I prefer that price as a bit of a stop on PLTR, but I wouldn't, you know, if you're scalping it, a 925 stop makes just as much sense if you want to have a tighter one.
Okay, Neil, we're going to test some Neos here. From Neo to Neo. We are long right now. 250. So a good little possible long here for that. Our Nikola does come out, so let's celebrate it. We'll rain down some money. We obviously did not have the ultimate high there. I apologize. I hope you guys had that. Again, if you're trading options with us or anything like that, upside there, surprise on Nikola. So good on that one. I do want to take some more Neo if we do break the high. So and then we're also going to give it back here, 2185, if it does go that way. We are shorting and out a little bit here on CCL. We did pick some up, 67, 68s, out 61s there. We're not going to celebrate it because I do think that if this market can pull back down, man, maybe we get into the 50s again for CCL. Let's just hope that can come through for us. That'll be a good one. Neo, again, we're not going to hold this one very far, just to break through 90. We did have a small test, but here come the market right back to the downside. So Neo, of course, will fall back down, but this is fine. This is good for our CCL, but not good for our Neo. Let's see how high this one wants to go. Nice little average in there. We were thinking it could take out the high, but now it looks like it's going to take out the lows of this little range. There we go. We get out. We're out of Neo. Small risk there, but we are out of that stock. What's up, B?
The lithium name's just popping up here, guys. A little bit of attention if my chart will load. There we go. Yeah, nice little move here from 11 on Lithium America. If you remember, 9.5% now. Just touched 14 on that push to the upside there on decent volume for LAC, guys.
Yeah, I'm glad I still have that one at least on my board. Twilio just rolled over at 293, and it's like, of course it did, because 293 was that upside target. It just feels like everything is wrong about that, except for the key price levels. Now, this name, we have been paying attention to it. There's all fresh highs. There's really not much to look at when you talk about levels, but I've been looking for a place to fade into this one. It's now, look, just multiple days we're running up. And at some point, there's going to be a turn. You are seeing a bit of consolidation here, and this is just a 3-minute. And then trying to double test this 14 even top, 13.99 technically the high. So if it rolls over, not a bad place for LAC. I want to join selling as opposed to necessarily making it when you get moves like this. It's already gone $3 bottom to top here at some point. I do expect it to turn around. I'm hunting for that one. But it's reload time in PLTR. Palantir up towards that 920 into 925. That means get some more shares to the short side for me. It's been a good one so far. It's a lower high, but I've started each of these shorts right around this 920 area into 925. No reason to get away from that plan of action until now, but NIO, like Sean said, is sliding back in. If it breaks down below this entry price of mine, like 21.75, I'll give it to 70s, and then I'll take that long off. I came in with a short bias. That was wrong. Thankfully, I've reversed long a couple of times to make some money, and there was a good short in there in the middle, but such a strong name, NIO. Now back to positive. Brendan, what do you got?
Uber is trying here, guys. Back to the upside. Just had a downtick here, but Uber showing some strength as well, trying to get back to where we were at the close yesterday. Greenbrier cutting them a $500 million check for Uber Freight. So they're investing, not buying, but investing in Uber Freight. So Uber, a little bit of catalyst today.
This is just how my day's going. Like, NIO goes right back to the upside there as we get out basically on the very bottom of that move. So what else is new? We're long right now 201s, so 2201s. So we'll see about getting some out. I still think we take out the high, so we don't want to get out too many shares, but we'll wait to see if the high comes through today on NIO one more time. But of course, I get in there and make that bottom wick. So yeah, let's just keep on going up so I don't need to worry about getting out anymore. NIO right now trying to make that move back to the upside. Just tried 04s. We're going to wait, man. We're going to get these out if I can at like 9s and 10s, and then we'll push even further long if it does break through that high of the day. But right now, NIO kind of fading back in here, and our CCL as well. So those are the two big positions that we have on right now, CCL and NIO, guys.
This upgrade on CTIC just continues to send it to the moon. Just tested and actually just broke $3 even before coming right back in here. So there was, and I was sort of looking at this consolidation and thinking if it rolled over, maybe there's a shot to go short, but it's still breaking out, it does seem. I think below 280, that's where I'd start thinking about the move being done. That just hasn't happened yet, so no reason to fight that stock if you're holding it long. I guess maybe like a 280 trail would make sense to me if I had this one like 250, 240, anywhere in the beginning of that move. Palantir does fill at 19 for me, so it's making its move back up to that 925. That means I am working myself into a bit of a short. I do want to give you a quick update on LONE. I have very, very little left now that it's broken 40 cents, and really, it's a pipe dream that it could ever go back to 25 where it closed yesterday. But this is one of those trades where if you get a chance to short and then hang on to it, you're really only risking like 5 cents to be able to make all the way down here, like a lot of shares out for the initial 5 cents and then another 10-cent win. And then the rest of it out pegging that 15-cent area, guys. So 5, 10, 15. There's nothing scientific about that, right? That's literally how simple the structure of that trade was for me. And it's actually continuing its move. I had a target of 40 cents. That's where I got almost everything out, hanging on to literally less than 10%, like 5% of the position to see how far it can go. And I'll just keep trailing it. Like I had a trail at 50 cents. I'll move it to like 45 and just see if I can't hold it all day long, guys. No reason to get out because the trend is very, very clear.
Okay. And we are trending bad on CCL. We just take another short. We're going to go to the upside on that one. NIO, though, we're right at today's high right now, and there it is, breaking right through. So thank God. Fireworks on the NIO long down there at the bottom. What up, Pete?
IDT Corporation, IDT having a nice day here, 42%. This is just earnings, so they blew out earnings clearly. You can see aftermarket yesterday, 42% move to the upside on decent volume. It's worth saying. You can see volume just coming in here now as we break through these highs from aftermarket yesterday, guys.
All right. NIO just made another fresh high, but like it's starting to slow down a little bit. Obviously, you saw that parabolic, well, a couple of parabolic moves, a bigger one off of the open when I was short and had to cover. Now testing towards that 22.25 mark. When it breaks that, I'll look to see if I can't take some shares out between that and maybe like 35 or so is going to be the next target. I'm not going to let this go past that 70 mark, and I'm holding here 21.81 and change half. It's going to round up to 21.82. So if I can start getting like 40, 50 cent win on the next little bit and then looking for a bigger move to the upside, if it's even possible. This market came in with a bit of a sell sentiment. Now it's looking looking like it's going to be strong to the upside. And NIO, with that deliveries number, why not take it for the ride to the upside and not fight it like I was earlier on with that short?
Yeah, we're huge now on NIO, thank God. We were buy. We did take that bottom wick. Like, what kind of bad luck was that to get that bottom wick? We did go long, though, again on the top of the day. We did talk about that. Now we're getting some out 17s, 18s, 19s. So we turn that frown upside down on NIO and make some wins on that one. And then, yeah, hells to the yeah right now. now. In your face, CCL. Finally, it's been in my face all day. But CCL, finally, we pick up that short. Very, very patient on this one, man. We waited for basically it to test the high of the day. It comes up there. Thank you, CCL, for giving us that trade. We didn't miss that one. So CCL right there, a nice little win, guys. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit everything. We're rocking and rolling right now. We're looking at 100,000 subscribers soon, hopefully. And when that comes through, man, we have a big celebration planned for that. Help us get there. If you haven't subscribed yet, do that. Let's get to that next week. And so we can all celebrate together on the show. Hit the like, hit the share, hit everything, man. Hit us up on Twitter. Neil, myself, and Brendan at Trader TV Shot. Neil, Brendan, the show at Trader TV Live. It's been a really good one today, man. I haven't had the huge winners that we've had in the past, but it's been fun, and the market right now is pulling back down just a little bit. So we do have our CCL short. Other than that, man, it's been a kind of a fun day here. We do average into our PLTR, Palantir. Nice little short now at 18, Neil. Let's see if we can't get this back to this VWAP back down to 10s.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels like that range-bound trade. This one, I hope it never stops giving the volume it has. I got maybe a little greedy, I suppose, on NNOX here. And again, it's going to be a breakout long. It resisted at 35. Unfortunately, I wanted to hang on to some. 36.50 was that level up. If it breaks 32 quarters, I'll just be out of this one altogether. There's a big battle going on here. Muddy Waters, the short seller. And these guys are making a presentation that'll be important for them, sort of a watered-down presentation that's going to come in November. But either way, that's going to be a big catalyst. I was just playing the potential squeeze to the upside when it took out the pre-market high. Doesn't look like it wanted to go far enough for me. It went like $1.50. I didn't take enough shares out, I don't think. Next time, maybe I'll correct that. But 32.25 is going to be my out on NNOX. If it wants to make another test, I'll probably take some shares out. As you can see, I now have an order in front of 35, so I won't get greedy a second time. Brendan, what do you got?
I just saw this AGO, Assured Genuity, having quite the day. 14.3% here. Just broke $25 there on decent volume, which is that high, basically, from way back when. They're being added to the S&P 600 small cap, so nice look for AGO today. Valeria is watching what's going on over in Europe. About an hour or so left in the European session. Valeria.
Hey, Brendan. Gold miner Centamin is down more than 19% after it forecast a fall in annual production. Back to you.
Yeah, we saw gold prices under pressure today a little bit as well, but they are starting to come back a bit. Guys.
All right, I'm just going to, let me discuss my Neo. Or Neo, you can take it, but I'm long Neo here. We're going to get out if it breaks 05, that's all.
No, I was literally just going to jump right back over to Palantir here, guys, just because I did get a few entry points here, and this is waiting and being passive is a way to go, and that's what I've been doing. Like, I have my orders sitting at like 23 and 24, so I don't have to really worry about it. It just grinds up towards that price, and I'm sitting on the offer, waiting for a fill. There's just so much liquidity. There's no need. I can get paid, actually a rebate to get into positions. I'm getting paid a couple of dollars per 1,000 shares that you take here, and there's no reason to hit levels. And then there it is. The bid evaporates again. A seller shows up at 920, and this is what I mean. Like, we're just shorting off this level here, and when it breaks, like 9.15 or so, 9.16, I start getting out near the bottom. Scalp traders dream on 23 million shares worth of volume. So thank you very much for this direct listing. We're very happy with it. As far as that like Neo trade, guys, I mean, it's holding above 22. I think if it takes a top off at 22.25, it's going to be a fantastic one. But I feel like a 420 play coming. What's up there, Sean?
No, I don't know.
Did I
We did
say
get a
it?
super chat there. Thank you so much for that. It was Czech dollars there, so it didn't even stay up here. But there we go. Thank you so much, Christopher. I don't even know what the 420 animation is, so if you guys want to hit it now. Let's give everyone a little view of it, including myself. I'm going to sit here and watch it. Lame. Okay, no, I like it. There we go. See, good one there. Thank you. So we've had that for a while, I feel like, but we just don't hit it enough. There it is, the Weed Batman in the building. So you want some weed stocks? Let's go over there. CGC, what's up, Canopy? Look, Dems win, Canopy rockets. But Dems haven't won yet, so we're going to wait on Canopy right here. 900,000 shares, almost a milli. We'll wait on this one, 14.18. Look, chop, 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 chop. That is that. You can also look at ACB here. ACB dual listed Toronto and New York, same as Canopy. I mean, I can't do anything here. This is a 5-cent range. So that is that stock. So thank you so much for that check super chat. Nicola, guys, still going to the upside. We did get out of that one probably a little hastily, but it's okay. Out here at 40, it does drop down to 20s. Now we're bouncing around that same level. A possible long here on Nicola, 25.75 if it goes. We still are short CCL, but we're short at 71. And so that's a ho-hum position right here, seeing what this market wants to do.
Yeah, and speaking of ho-hum positions, I mean, Rocket did have another push to the upside. Of course, we did get some action yesterday on news. It's holding this like 21.65 area, which you can call in sort of an opening range break as well. So if it breaks down below that, maybe the party is done. Just got back into some more shares in front of 925 in PLTR. And thank you there, Cameron. You've been all over it with the super chats, and we appreciate it. Thank you so much. We're trying to start the weekend right. It's been an active morning, lots of trading here. But we need to go to Brendan. He's got some breaking news.
Just watching this XTNT, guys. We finally got that kind of break to the downside. One from the watch list, guys, if you're watching the watch list. $2 here was support. So we broke that, trying to come back towards $2. Going to start watching this XTNT, guys.
Yes,
you know what? I had this one written down on my list. Yeah, definitely should have been involved when this one rolled over. It's just there were so many things to trade today. I was sort of eyeballing whether it can make a push past that 250 into that 285. The second it does not, you're looking at rollovers into previous highs like 165, 160. That would be the ultimate target, but I missed it right here on the 2-even break. It might be a shot, I think, for some retracements. I think Brendan probably looking at a similar thing for me. In front of 2, we'll see if we can't grab a little short. But I still have that PLTR. It's having some trouble getting down towards that 9-10 area. So maybe it'll be a more aggressive taking 5 and 10 cent wins on that name. I do want to try to cover Zoom. I have not made a trade in it here, but as the market is trying to roll over, Zoom now creeping back below that 500. We talked about this, of course. Unfortunately, with the positive test for the POTUS, it's going to take these sort of stay-at-home plays to the upside and some of the recoveries to that downside. So if the market rolls over, and Zoom could hold up, which I'm not saying it will, maybe a hold or a break above that 500 could be in play. Otherwise, you know, normally I'd be thinking about shorting in front of 500 with a stop there. I'm going to hang off of that trade because I do like to jump back over to Twilio if I can off that 493. But PLTR, just advise you guys, I now am thinking about getting some out in front of like 15, 16, 17, as opposed to 10, 11, 12. It's tightening up the range as it gets closer to lunchtime, and you want to make sure you're making that adjustment as it adjusts to the time of day.
Yeah, if it was 80, then $2. Okay, DPW, CCL right now, still making moves to the downside. We're going to wait on that one. Palantir, Neil, finally now
there we go.
Coming down. I just got hit, so bang, the chicken dinner winner there. All the way back down to VWAP. We did give that call to you. We waited there, got out of 70%. Now we're falling on Palantir. So nice little move out of 70% of our short, which was right here. We did average in a little bit, so a nice little win there on Palantir. Thank you for that one. And look, the other thing too is, guys, thank you to Cameron. We keep talking about that. Remember when I said, oh yeah, we got to short something. Facebook's near 265. You remember where Microsoft was near, guys? Yeah, that's right, 211. And I was like, maybe we should short off that, but we weren't sure. We didn't want to get caught in a bias. So yeah, I will cry like a baby here because as you notice, the only thing we have short is CCL. And it's a banger, don't get me wrong. But we should have had some of those high flyer tech names short as well. So there it is. Out on CCL, a nice little 9 cents, which, I mean, it's good. We just keep battling with CCL. We made 77 fills here on CCL today. So, yeah, short. I mean, can you tell which way I bias here? All the purples are shorts, man. The reds are sells. So other than that, man, it's been all to the short side here. Thank God we picked it up right now. We'll make back the money that we lost, hopefully, on a move back to the downside. We just take some out right there. I'm waiting at 58. That seems silly considering the bottom was 60. So let's adjust some of our orders now and make sure we take profits on El Carnival.
Yeah, and speaking of taking profits, can't get to 22.25 just yet on the NIO, so I took some more shares out for a 30-cent win there on NEO. I still have that break even-ish, like 21.70. I'm long at 21.80 here, guys. If it breaks quarters, 22.60 was, of course, that level we looked at on the 15-minute. That's where I'm looking to get out in front of. But if it turns around, it's break even or bust on the rest of these NEO shares. And again, it's just a small amount of the position left. It is time to go to Brandon at the desk. He's got something else for us.
One we were watching yesterday, ENLV, just popping back up here through 950 there, immediately back down, but kind of breaking, if I grab this, kind of breaking this resistance from yesterday on the way up here. So we'll see what happens at 920, 925. But ENLV just popping up on volume, guys.
Yeah, I just want to quickly jump back over to one more name. I did aggressively get out of PLTR here. And we mentioned this over and over again, but it sort of bears repeating. It's not, this is like a scalper's, I wanted to say wet dream, but it's a scalper's dream here, guys. It's insane. The price action, it's pretty obvious levels, 9 even, 930, 925 to 930. Now making bottoms at VWAP, 910, whichever way you want to call it. So I'm going to rinse and repeat literally until it's done. I do anticipate my last trade on this stock, at least off of this level, is going to be a loser. Like when it breaks up, I'm going to lose a few cents here, but if you've already been taking these trades for profits and you're doing it every single time, rinse and repeat, no worries. If you're holding every 20 to 25 short, hoping it makes a 40-cent move, when it eventually breaks, you never got the winner and you only take the hit. So that's not the way I'm going to approach it on this name. We should go back to one from yesterday. Making another move to the upside and breaking, and now on my alert, because on Bed Bath & Beyond, it was 2057. That was the top. Yesterday, it just tested it again. This is the daily chart here I want to show you guys. But if you go to the 3, this is the top from yesterday. It just broke through and is testing through to the higher. 21 was the target where I said, if it rolls over there, that's where I would jump into a short. It never happened yesterday. It could happen today, but it's 1040. That means gotta go to that big screen and see the sector watch with Brendan.
Hey guys, yeah, we're working our way back to the upside, but still in negative territory here. You can see 0.9% in negative territory for the S&P, mostly coming from the energy group. We talked about that a couple of times, although we're starting to see a few here poke back into positive territory. Devon Energy up 2% on the day already. Way over in the corner here, material stocks, very, very positive, kind of leading the way back to the upside. We have real estate stocks, communication stocks below that in negative territory. Take two here, down 1.8%. ATVI, there was a little bit of news on Activision Blizzard this morning as well in negative territory. But tech stocks and consumer discretionary, they are offsetting everything. So anything that is in positive territory getting offset by that. Industrial stocks also under pressure. Boeing has had quite a week, 2 days in a row to the upside, giving back about 3%. You can see here today back in negative territory. Here's the airlines, all lower. Love, UAL. They moved on me as I was pointing them out, obviously. Here we go. AAL, UAL, Dow, and Love there. Alaskan as well, 2.6% in negative territory. They're talking about layoffs. They're talking about the possibility of not getting any aid now. So, yeah, not a good day if you're in the transportation group. Tech shares, though, are leading to the downside. It's very rare, but we see Apple at the top of the list there, 1.6%. STX, IP, GP in the hardware group as well. DXC, there's PayC, the only one, 2.5% higher on the day. Semiconductors, the entire group here in negative territory. We mentioned NVIDIA. Look at Micron as well. Their MU down 1.5%. Ulta Beauty, L Brands, Booking, and Expedia. Anything travel related going to be under pressure. Down here, cruise lines as well. NCLH, MGM, and CCL. MGM obviously a hotel, but 2.8%. Nevertheless in negative territory. 0.8%. We're crawling our way back to the upside here. Look at material stocks, look at utilities, and look at financials as well, starting to catch a bit of a bid. Let's go back over to Sean.
Yeah, we're back. Guess who's back? Back again. CCL right now just bouncing off 60, so we're short 71. So we're just keep taking some out. I do have a bid though at 58. So here we come down to 50. I told you we had that bid at 58. Just randomly put it there a while ago and just too stubborn to cancel it. So I scalp in and out of everything pretty much. So we'll just keep it there. You have time priority, right? That's the one thing. If your order goes in there, I mean, CCL will wipe out the levels, but if you're first come, first serve on a gateway, depending on the gateway, but most of them have that mechanism. So if you're sitting there, you might as well leave your order. That's for direct market access I'm talking about, not for many of you at home that are maybe just using brokers. But okay, the NASDAQ does fail, and I feel so damn stupid about this one because, guys, honestly, man, we were talking about it, everything being a little bit over the top here. I was been short bias all day, and now, of course, with this NASDAQ doing this move, we don't even have anything on, and it's ridiculous. The only thing we have on is CCL. It's been good. CCL's fine, but not dropping anywhere like some of these other names. We did talk about Softy up to the upside as well. Come on. Microsoft is 211 all the way down to 208 and change. Man, we were short the whole time until it actually cracked. We don't have anything, so missed a whole bunch of tops there. We didn't want to be too biased, but here it comes right down downside now. Let's find something. I did see you, SH, there talking about Apple, the only name that didn't go down, so maybe that's one that we look to pick up if the market does stay strong. But yeah, Apple right now finding ways to make it to the downside. High 1550, so you're only off 75 cents right now.
Yeah, and speaking of the market rolling over, starting to come southbound is American Airlines, at least. I didn't check in on any of the other ones here, but this 1225, I've sort of been waiting around, see if it can break, if the market wants to head lower. And of course, we talked about these obviously COVID-related sort of names that would suffer from this reemergence that we're getting, at least in the news cycle. So 1225 for me on American Airlines. I'm breaking short on that. Palantir finally goes below that 915. I'll take almost everything out if it gets to that 910, but 1225 should be a new position if we break down below that on American Airlines. I was both waiting for it to roll over, but also wanting to see if the market could come with me for the ride to the downside. So we'll get that short if it breaks. I do want to jump very quickly over to Bed Bath & Beyond. I just mentioned it to you guys. Did not get to 21 even, but it is getting rather close. It's starting to get to that time, guys. If it does test to the upside here, I'm not holding through 21, but you do have this sort of like one wick and then double top here at 21 on the daily chart. If it starts to turn, fine. But Sean mentioned yesterday the reason why I was only shorting it below 18 or at 21 is because of the squeeze play. It's heavily shorted. You don't touch it in the middle, and you got to have a hard stop. There's no area stops. It breaks it. I'm out, running away from it. It's only going to be that 21 for me. If it gets about to 75, let's say, gets into that range, that last 25 cents or so, starts to slow down and roll over, that's when I would jump into the short, either on the way back down or on the way up if I get a really, really tight price and it's not going parabolic in to that $21 area.
Okay, we're going to see if Facebook wants to go back upside there. We do take a little bit of a long here at 40, nicely in the money right now. We'll see. Not nice. It was just at 60, but we'll give it to the upside here. Brendan, what's up?
So many great fade type of ideas today, especially in the vaccine space. Vaxart was higher in the pre-market, gapped up significantly. There was 780, 790 up here, 780, 790 from the daily chart. We're all the way back to 690. And 680. Even at the open there, you could add 740. Vaxart, no significant news. The group, again, gapping up on the Trump news about the virus. So some of these names worth watch. Still, I feel if we get through that low, this thing could be down to 620 maybe, guys.
Yeah, I like that you guys, thank you for those responses there, that you like those little, I called them quips there, that we said there, like that Slim Shady one, and I'm glad they make some of your days. We're just having some fun here, as well as trading. So, okay, Facebook will give that. I did want to give a big thanks, Sean King. You've been here for a while. Thank you so much. Again, I believe Sean King was guest trader of the day at one point. Thank you, Sean, for that as well. I know a lot of you are holding on to some of your shorts. So good luck on that one. And I hope everyone, if you're not going to be with us for the rest of the show, have a great weekend. The show goes on until 12 o'clock. Okay, CCL, we did. Look, patience is a virtue that sometimes we have. We get that 58, man, as it comes right back to the downside. So a nice little win there on CCL 58. We're pretty light now. We only have 20% of what we had left on. This 60 is really pissing me off. We're going to wait now until the downside, maybe like back down to VWAP here. CCL should break, man. The market broke. CCL should have broke with it. It didn't. So we're going to wait on that one, and hopefully it comes back to the downside. I do have an out target. Just believe it or not, man, it's 67. It's just up here. Because if the market gets going back to the upside, CCL is going to be too strong. So we make back a lot of our money today. We don't want to give it away again. I'm still sick to my stomach about Twilio, Neil.
Yeah, you can say that one again, guys. But it was definitely a learning experience for me. I gave it not nearly enough room on the pullback before I got trailed on Twilio. And speaking of learning experiences, kind of a good segue here. We have our Market Wisdom channel. We do drop videos every single day for you guys in the community. And this one today, talking a little bit about margin accounts. A lot of you might be thinking about it. Maybe you have, maybe you don't. Hopefully you don't, maybe. But if you want to learn what they're all about from our perspective, we're dropping that one today. As always, basically everything we do, and this one included, is going to be suggested from our viewers. So if you have suggestions for future videos, do let us know via the chat. chat or tweet at us or drop it in the comment section of this video. So that one's coming up in about an hour or so. Valerie's going to be dropping that. Hopefully in a few minutes or so, or seconds, who knows, we'll get a test a little bit higher in Bed Bath & Beyond to see what happens in that 21 area. Obviously, if I'm taking it out, any kind of a short that I put on at that level, maybe you get a further squeeze to that price. So it could be momentum through that 21. Showed it to you on the daily chart there. That's why we're eyeballing it. I can tell you that NYSE is starting to fade back in, guys. So this one could turn into a mixed result for me. I got greedy on the long, but if it takes out 32.25, I will lose about $1 on the second half of that trade after only taking like 50 cents on the first half and looking for much more. I thought maybe it would be like a $3 move into 36.50. That didn't happen. Only the scalp trade is what I got, but it's 10.50. Let's get the good word. Money Talks with Brendan at the big screen.
Hi guys, we're expecting a little bit of volatile session in currency land as well. It's actually turning out to be pretty muted. Some of the US dollar moves we had earlier coming back to the upside now. So we are bouncing off this support. This is the DXY, the dollar index. We're kind of bouncing off this support around 93.5, 94 on the DXY after that move up to 94.5. So you got the pullback. Prior resistance typically becomes support. So watch that 94 area. So a lot of these actually a little bit lower on the day so far, including the euro down 0.3%, the Canadian dollar down about 0.25% back to 75 again. For the CAD, the British pound, the only one again today, kind of bucking the trend, 0.3% to the upside, hovering around that 130 level for the British pound. Swiss franc, Japanese yen doing the opposite again today. Australia, New Zealand, both back to the downside. Back to 71.5 here, or close to it. For Australia, it was, if you remember, 72 and above earlier on in the week. Bitcoin and Ethereum down here, the cryptos, struggling a little bit today. 3 days in a row now for Ethereum to the downside, back to 343. Bitcoin got away from 10,800, but not too far so far. Let's go back to Neil.
Thank you, Brendan. Every time Brendan's up there doing that segment and I hear Swiss francs, I think of like one of my favorite songs from a contemporary artist I don't listen to a lot because I'm an old head, but Ryan Leslie, shout out Swiss francs. It's a great song if you're trading, get you in the mood, especially if you're trading Europe. Every single one of us, and by that I mean the three of us, we're looking at this DTTW in the pre-market. It's on the watch list as well, guys. So if you're following along, we talked about this consolidation on a gap up, consolidate off of a 265 level. We're able to identify on a higher time frame. The story is right at the open when it flushed into the bottom, and this is still going to be the low of the day. Because this higher consolidation, instead of giving this to 265, the last of my shares I'm going to give to this opening range 245, and then if it breaks that, I'll reassess it if it makes a test of that 65 level. Otherwise, still have the target of $2. If it gets there, fantastic. If it doesn't, that's just part of the game, guys. I want to jump over to CTIC here just for a quick second. It's continuing its march to the upside. It just broke and held above $3. So I don't really have any obvious levels here until this thing gets to almost $4. So the breakout is still on in CTIC. If it goes parabolic and halts, that could be interesting. Marlon, one of our members, I do like Farside, actually, fantastic group. You can tell how old I am by that reference right there.
Okay, so we hit the alarm there because we finally get a winner to the long side. A quick little 30-cent scalp there. We have half left on Facebook. And again, we haven't had much long success today because, much short success on that pullback, but we've been going long for the most part on some of these stocks. We're short CCL, but nice little rip there to the upside. And it's not really a rip. It's just kind of doot, but we did want to take advantage of that move to the upside there. So in at 263.42. I remember when Facebook was down to $26. That would have been a good hold. Okay, down here 263 and change out of half. So we will reinvestigate that if it does come a little bit lower to the downside. Our Palantir, I just keep on putting bids, bang, 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 and then we'll wait. So another bid to the downside right now. We'll wait to see if it comes back to 11 or 12. What's up, Bren?
Just seeing a note on Tesla here, guys. They've apparently acquired German battery assembly line maker that also supplies BMW and Mercedes. So that Electrek, this was the same website that reported they were going to blow out their delivery numbers for the last quarter. So Electrek reporting that they've acquired this German battery assembly line maker that also supplies BMW and Mercedes. If you are watching Tesla, heads up, guys.
Yeah, well, Tesla's about to break down at 435, and that slight downward move you're seeing in Tesla means, and the only thing I can hit here is because I don't have one for NIO here, and I know you do, Sean, but I'll hit the Tesla one just so you can see. It's a fun little graphic. But NIO, party done for me on the long trade. I just got trailed out. It was 2 separate trades here to the long side, at least the second long that we took. It was a breakout for a scalp off of that 75 break into 22 even. The second entry point I was holding for a bigger move. It doesn't look like it wants to sustain it. I thought we'd get to that 2260 price from earlier in the week. That hasn't happened yet. The day is still young. We have at least a few hours to go here, so maybe there's a bit of a bottom at like 2130 that we can play again. It was a nice one there. Or if it actually holds us out and I put the bottom wick in here, you catch a breakout trade at 2225 or 2220 through the high end. So there's still a couple of ways we can play the long, or I can play the long in NIO. Not done with this one. I started out with a short bias, lost. Had a good short on the way back in, but it was such a hard reversal at 2130. I had to play that breakout at 2175. You can't let your bias get too far in the way of price action and a clear trend, and that one's up in NIO.
You guys are asking for it. It's not a huge one, but we'll do it anyways. It's a banger. So there it is. We'll go bang for you guys right there. Look at this pickup of Facebook. Right downside there. It comes up. We're waiting at VWAP. We're playing off VWAP, baby. So we take that at 22. Instantly out. Bang! Hot dogs for everyone today as we rip it up to the money right now. A nice little 70-cent win right here on Facebook. So there it is. You waited for it. I waited for it. We wait patiently for it. And now, we did hear someone said that I was the Don. No, that's not true. Valeria is in charge around here. So we'll wait to see what Valeria thinks about this Facebook long. But yeah, a good win right there. Not bad, right, Valeria, for that Facebook trade? She likes it. She'd rather I went long on Starbucks. When we get a chance, I know there's some new viewers here. Maybe we'll get Valeria on the screen a little bit more. She'll discuss what her favorite drink is at Starbucks. I can't remember what it was, but it's a bunch of shots of something. So we'll wait on that one. But Facebook, there it is. We'll put this up on Twitter. And why? Because, it's a VWAP play. We're talking about it. Makes a lot of sense. I want traders to be able to understand how we get into positions, why we get into positions, why we take out profits and whatnot. So I'll put that one up. I'm still thinking if this market wants to keep going, why not get to this area, 264 and a quarter? But just like that, not only do we have the best hosts with Valeria and also the best production team, and they're ready to rock. Valeria, give it to them.
Well, Sean, if it's interesting for anyone, my Starbucks to-go coffee is Grande Blonde Roast coffee in a venti cup with 2 pumps, with 2 pumps of hazelnut, 2 pumps of caramel, cream, and raw sugar. Thanks.
Wow.
There's no way anyone actually
I just
caught
got
that.
diabetes right there, by the way. I thought I was supposed to wait a couple of years for that, but thank you so much, Valeria, for that. So there we go. I don't even know what she said, and that's that. So thank you, Valeria. Very, very interesting drink, and I hope you live a long and prosperous life.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, I'll try here is to live a long and prosperous life, but shorting against the trend is a way to maybe get some heart palpitations. But either way, I talked about this on Bed Bath & Beyond. It got to 2070. That's not all the way to 2075, but when it tried to test back at 2050, failed. The second time through, I'm not going to be able to ignore it. So I did jump into the short trade here. Hard stops, a couple of them here, 70 and 21 even. If it retraces 20 even, is a good target for some of the shares out, and then see how far it can go. This one's already gone rather parabolic last couple of sessions, so anticipating a bit of a pullback trade at some point is the reason why I'm jumping for it. And I've waited literally a day and a half for an entry point into this to the short side because the squeeze has essentially been on for a couple of days now. In this one, I'll jump back over to Palantir only because it's like the most active stock for me the last 2 days, and things have really started to slow down here. However, that's slowing down with it in the money. I still have some shares short at 923. All the shorts have been like 20s, 21s, 23s, 24s, but it's holding above VWAP here. If it breaks, and you can see these turquoise lines are hard to see here, but those are all orders to get out, like some at 12, some at 11. I've been sitting here down in front of 9 even if it would ever come back down. That's just because you get these flushes every now and then on the 1 minute here, and you'll see it'll just drop 10 cents or 5 to 10 cents. Liquidity vacuum will dry up, and I want to be on the bid in case it happens and get just just get taken for that ride as opposed to trying to react and then missing the bottom by a few cents. So I do have orders out, ready to go. If it does slide down, we'll make some more profit. As long as that 925 holds, I'll be short PLTR, guys.
Yeah, okay. Just tweeting this out and letting everybody know that you need to be a little more patient here on a day like today. I really haven't seen anything that was been like a huge banger really, but that Facebook trade was a good one, and we're really happy that we do have that one on. So Facebook right now 95 cents in the money, which has been a nice little roller coaster. But there we go, Facebook, there we go. So we are almost out of everything. A little bit of a move down here in the NASDAQ. nothing really to worry about. We'll give you some targets on where to get out here now on Facebook. 263, 263.75 there, guys. So we'll wait for 263.75, and then that way, that'll still be a 50-cent win. So we'll see if Facebook wants to keep on running, but we're not going to hold it all day. 263.75, Miss V at the big screen with Europe.
Hey guys, welcome to the European update. Europe mostly in a negative territory today. Russia is down 1.27%. France is down 0.63%. Germany is down 0.93%. And Britain is down 0.34%. Gold miner Centamin is a massive decliner today after it announced a fall in annual production. That's all with the Europe, and I'll keep you updated. Back to traders.
Just seeing here, thank you for the note. There's someone in the chat mentioned Julius Jones there, one of our members, mentioning to me that JE is halted. And I was trading this one in Toronto, so I'm just going to quickly look to make sure. I'm assuming it's halted in New York as well, but it just popped up $1 in Toronto. So I'm going to assume a corresponding move obviously happened in the NYSE. We'll see if there's any news. I want to make sure I'm not trading blind on this, but it halted a couple of minutes ago. Looks like an obvious volatility halt to me. So it should be open in like 3 minutes. We have some time to digest what might have just happened. Not a big volume spike though, so that's the first thing I look at. No big volume spike, halting up means there might not be anything specific to it.
Just looking at charts here of CCL again, we still are a little short at 71. So yeah, man, it's a 25-cent winner right now. The math is incorrect. 16-cent winner there. It did go down to 52. I thought I had some bids down in the 50s, but then I checked and they're more now near this VWAP spot. So let's just keep on taking that profit. Facebook does come out. Like, look at that. Like, this is what happens to me, man. Facebook comes out down here at 75. It's now 60 more cents in the money. So, yeah, we get a nice little wick bottom there, and then we get wicked out right there. So, like, the market giveth and taketh away, but still a nice little 50-cent win. It would now be $1. Like, we just got out at 75, guys. It's at 50. So we threw away 75 cents there. So bad out, but whatever. We did have it there. We were taking a 75 break, and unfortunately it does break our neck right there, and we do get out a little bit. So that's okay. But when you're picking them up on the downside, it's a good one. Facebook should have been held. But look, we talk about being honest. Someone asked me that on Twitter yesterday. I responded, handled that well. We went back and forth. So yeah, that's what we have to be, man. We have to be honest. And look, I could say, oh, I'm still in this, but I'm not. I got out, and that's the trade there. I'm still super happy to have it. Really happy to pick up Facebook. We're now near the highs again. This might be a spot to put that short back on, but darn it, I wish we would have held on to that one and not got to that little bottom wick there, but so be it. We did take 80 cents on that trade. Oh man, now it's $1 higher than where we got out in a matter of 4 minutes. Is what it is. The market is volatile. Apple also coming back to the upside as well, but this one not coming back upside as strong. The high of the day here, 115.40. We're only at 115 right now.
Yeah, making another test is NNOX. I haven't given up on this name. I'm still on the long break here. What I thought would be a squeeze, but it stayed in the money for me. This 33.20 long. It's testing towards this 35, and first time I didn't take profits. Second time I will take some shares out. You can see I actually have an order offered in front of that 35. If it snaps up there, I'll take the $1.50 and see if you can't get a bigger move to that 36.50 target that I was looking for on the potential squeeze up on NNOX. JE still halted, but let's go to Brendan at the desk.
Yeah, just seeing volatility on this. Nothing yet. There's some rumors of, yeah, they're squeezing it again. But this is the one that split a few days back, went all the way up to 32 in the pre-market. It was a huge mover. But yeah, JE halted still 14% on volatility. Guys.
Yeah, and there was actually, I showed you guys Toronto and I showed you the spike and it didn't have volume, but the volume actually came in and halted it up in New York. So The only reason I was trading in Toronto was because it was a penny stock at the time and a half-cent spread instead of like every 10 cents, every tenth of a cent that it was trading in New York. It's above $1, so now you can trade in New York just as easily. Actually, probably even better if you want to do that. But I'm not going to be necessarily jumping crazy into it, but it's always a good time during the halt to review. This squeezed up big time last time. It was a huge move. It retraces almost every single time, guys, but this $6 range could be interesting if it gets back or through that price. So watch out for $6 on JE. Ever since the reverse, it's a bit of a level. We'll see if it doesn't happen again.
Okay, so again, I could have just taken $1, but we do hit the backflips and we'll hit the hot dogs for you again. Look at this short, man. Facebook, short right there, 264.65. In 1 minute, we get out there at 11 for 55-cent win. Great trade, but look where it is now. Holy man, these markets are just snapping people. Yeah, I mean, this was a big move there. We go long, out, short and out. So basically, guys, in the last, let's call it, I don't know, 20 minutes or so, we've taken this long for about $1, more than about $1.50 in total. Then we short this one, backside another 55 cents. So that's about $2 right there on Facebook, up and down. And that's why we scalp it. We are coming right back down to that VWAP level again. But the market right here just does fall down there. So we'll see. Not sure what's going on with that, but like we know, man, the market's volatile. So I can't just sit here and wonder what's happening. We just got to trade what we do see in front of us, and including that would be CCL coming back down to 58. We had to get hit at some spot, so we put another order at 58. We get run over, taken out there for a nice little win. That's another 13-cent win. So yeah, we're back right now, slaying a couple dragons out there, some of our past dragons. CCL, great trade to the short side. Facebook should have held it, but Facebook up there now as one of my top stocks. Oh man, you'd be $1 in the money. Look, we should have picked that up down there as well. Let's look at this VWAP and see if we want to defend it again.
Yeah, let's line it up and knock it out one more time. I talked about having some orders on PLTR in case it flushed. It just did it again through 14, 12s, 10s, and then at 909. Look, if it breaks down all the way towards 9 even, I do want to hold for that level. I'm not going to take the breakout trade. It's just going to be shorts over and over and over again in front of 925 and 930. If it just wants to continue to give us that price, we're just going to continue to take it and take these quick little scalps. JE did open back up. So far, relatively speaking, uneventful. And the only reason I say that, still below that $6 mark, but it is still grinding higher. The squeeze feels like, as Brendan said, it's getting squeezed again. No catalyst, no news, but volume up. The move is to the upside. You know, unless it gets below like 530 or does a halt to the downside, I'm probably going to stay away from this one on JE. Brennan, what do you have?
Another one just popping up here. GoGo, a little wireless company, GOGO on the NASDAQ, rather. 9%, you can see, big pop here on volume up to 1050. Back to the top end of the range here on the daily chart, 1050. Going to check on GoGo, guys.
All right. Yeah, sorry about that. I was just checking out. I want to give a big shout out to Neil. Thank you so much for that. It's been a roller coaster ride for everybody here on Palantir. I didn't even notice I was looking somewhere else. I was looking at the Facebook trade. And yeah, 908. So it comes all the way back down. We should have had a bid down here. I don't know if it went down to 9, but we did not have any bids. Very, very silly of us. So we come back in, we get out some 908. So that was a good one as it does break back down through VWAP. And we're short 23s. So now we're just baby short anyways. Almost out of it all. We'll wait to see if that happens one more time. So shout out to anybody that was short. Palantir with us. Good call there, Neil. And saved me a couple pennies. 1458 was our last out on CCL. These are the only two positions we do have. Facebook's been a ride, man. We do like it. This may turn into my new favorite stock of the week, maybe. Next week, we'll see. Normally, it's Microsoft, but this was a good trade here for Facebook. Really good reads on that one. Look, Pepsi, guys. Pepsi had a great quarter. And they kind of got hit a little bit yesterday. I do like this name. I did want to check back in it because I think for a long-term investment, I love what Pepsi's doing. Obviously in the snack spot, that wick down there, got to get rid of that. Didn't go down to 42. But yeah, 143 here. I do like Pepsi long-term. It's now above its 50-day moving average on the daily chart. If anybody's looking to pick something up with a little bit of a dividend, and I think some upside there. Remember, they do own SodaStream, so SodaStream's making a big push now as well. People wanting to recycle, people wanting, or not wanting to add to the recycled, lumps that there is right now in the world. Plastic bottles, not great. So SodaStream taking that over, and so is all of their snack food. So Pepsi, a good one for the long term. And quickly, guys, if I can just talk about JP Morgan. We do normally talk about JP Morgan. Every time I think about long-term investments, I'm always thinking about JP Morgan. And look at this from the bottom, guys, 94 and change. Big aggressive stock. I do like this one breaking through 97 and a quarter. We'll see if we can get that, Brendan.
Another one from yesterday, just noticed, kind of been eyeing this in the side of my screen here all morning, but SLDB, remember, huge mover yesterday, all the way up to $6 and then back again, came up to $4 here and looks to be having a little bit of trouble. I'd like it better up around 440, 450, but one to watch, some volume coming back in right now on SLDB, guys.
Yeah, that's definitely worth a watch. Good stock trading yesterday. Always keep those in mind the following day. It feels like there's always one or two that are on the watch list that we give out for free. Quite frankly, every single day. Valeria and the Brennan worked very hard on it. We put our input as well, but these names stay in play sometimes for 2 or 3 days, so keep them around. I want to just update you guys on stepping in front of the moving train here that is Bed Bath & Beyond, but the rollover is still hanging on. It's basically at my price. I got 45 short. It's trading at 45. Just going to show you here on the 3. Going into yesterday's action, it was sort of the same top that we're looking at, but it failed to get anywhere close. So you got 37 was the high, couldn't break up towards that 21 even. So another second push here after falling off. And let's see if it can't make a similar retracement. There were levels at 20 even. There was a level around here, some chop from 50 to 60. Those will be the first 2 targets. If it goes any further than that, wow, it'd be really, really nice to get anything around yesterday's close, 18.75. That's about like $1.50 or so of profit that we'd be able to have. I like that risk to reward. We have it on. But hard stop through that high of day, and then we'll revisit at 21 even, guys. So Bed Bath & Beyond, still have it short, still have NNOX to the long side. Just not nearly the momentum to the upside that I would have thought here. Anytime you have this, and it's a somewhat positive report, that presentation that they're going to be doing in November, heavy short selling in this name as well, but just can't seem to break back up towards and through that high of day. If it does, 36.50 does remain my target for the last third of these shares, but I will take some off in front of that 35 even, guys.
Okay, just getting ready here, 263.20 or so, just in case we do get into some spicy meatballs here with whatever this stock is, our favorite one now, apparently, Facebook. We'll wait to see if we can't pick some of these up right now. We'll put a bid there, 50s. We got another bid out there as well, 51. So into the 50s, low 50s, high 50s right now on Facebook, and we'll see if we can't catch that one a little bit ahead of VWAP this time. It's bounced back down into the 50s a few times, so that's why we'll put our order there and see if the NASDAQ wants to now continue to go upside. We just did see the AP there reporting, and not stealing Brendan's news here because we already know this, but Joe Biden has obviously tested, and they're waiting on results for that. So I don't have any breaking news on that. Just let you know that that's probably going to come. If he tests positive, of course, I don't want to say the market's going to fall down, but that can't be a good thing, definitely for the elections. So I'm not sure how that's all going to play out. But if that news does come through, guys, I would maybe, if you have any big positions on, maybe get off and then just wait to see how the market reacts. If both candidates have coronavirus, then I'm not sure. I have no idea. I mean, we're in brand new territory here, Brendan.
Yeah, it would be interesting to say the least. Anyways, we'll see how long it takes to get those results. It seemed, the vice president was right away. Vice President Pence, within hours, they knew the results. So we'll have to see on Joe Biden. American Renal Associates, 64% here, guys. There's a little M&A news on this, $11.50 per share in cash. It's actually trading above right now, but up 67%. I was meaning to check on this earlier. Not a heck of a lot of volume, but heads up, $11.50 per share, ARA, guys.
Good thing I didn't see that, because that kind of a premium to be trading above, if there isn't a special dividend and there's no one else coming in, I'd normally be looking to short it. Thankfully, I was looking to short Lone Star here, and again, we'll go with the Spaceballs reference. If you've never seen that movie, oh man, you got to check it out. It's a funny one. John Candy, Canadian content stars in that. Continues to slide to the downside. It's just no bid whatsoever. It broke through 40. Just got some shares at 36 cents. Short up here at 56. I shorted in the pre-market and had one big misstep here, accidentally covering everything and reversing long. I was able to get back in when it tested up. And this will happen at the open, where you'll have positive news. So these stocks that are retracing in, well, they might give you that test in the first like 5 to 10 minutes to try to come back to the upside. And when they fail and then roll over at those same pre-market levels, that's a sign of weakness. You jump back into that short, and it just is showing zero signs of doing anything but going right back to 25 cents, which is what it was at the close yesterday. So I'm riding for that party, but not a heck of a lot left on. I do want to jump back over to, I mentioned Bed Bath & Beyond. If it took off the top, I would be out. It's only like a 30-cent hit, but to me, when the stock is squeezing like this, I'm not going to hang on for massive losers. The risk reward has to make sense. You have to have a hard stop. If it rolled over, I was looking, first target was for 35, and then from there, $1, and then maybe like $1.50, $2. So risk reward I like. I'll take another shot if it turns at 21. But for now, we'll step away from Bed Bath & Beyond, wait a day and a half to short it, and I'm only in there for like 15 minutes.
Come on, Facebook. Bang! You want to talk about 15 minutes? We just got in right there as well. And we'll throw the money around. I told you we got a new favorite right now, and it is this stock right here, Facebook. In right here, 66 or 63, out 87 right there. So a smooth little 25-cent scalp there. We'll test her again and see if we can't get it. So there we go. I told you we were sitting at the low 50s there. This was our trade 63. Now here, now we go long again, 52s. Let's see if we can't get right back to this level again in the mid 80s. See if we can't scalp another 30 cents off this. This is why we scalp, man. We'll wait to see if it wants to break downside. My order to get out would be if we do break below this 25 level, almost like down here. I think maybe, this is 263.20. I got to adjust my order. VWAP has changed a little bit. So we'll wait on that one. Right now, Facebook, nice couple scalps here. We could always lose on the last one, which wouldn't that be good? But here we go, upside now, 52s. Let's put an order backside right now, mid 80s, guys.
Thank you very much for the super chat there, Daniel Bender. No, my password is not 123456. I believe the reference is 12345 to correct you there. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty good with these sort of cult movies, and that's a reference from Spaceballs. So there you go. I'm glad somebody got it. Showing my age there, and my preference in movies. My preference was to take a breakout in Twilio, and that didn't really work out for me, despite the fact that you can see it is still going to the upside. This is what we're looking at on the daily chart. This level, 293, is taking a couple of cracks at this. It broke through once, getting like 45 cents higher maybe, and just snapping right back down. So this is a clean top at 293. If it does roll over, and I literally just did this in Bed Bath & Beyond, but it's a very, very similar style. The only difference is this is a failed break through the high where you didn't get 21s, which was that key level that I was watching on Bed Bath & Beyond. So I like it a little bit better. The first time I shorted this didn't work. The long should have, but didn't because I didn't give enough room. This time I'm giving it only to the high of the day. If this stock breaks back down below like 291 or so, I'm going to jump into the short trade on Twilio and see if there's a retracement down into VWAP. I mean, that'll give you like $4 or $5 worth of a win to risk up to the high of the day. I like that risk reward, about 2 to 1. Depending on where you get in. There should be some slippage because it's a $300 stock with a 20-cent spread. So keep all of that in mind if you're going to think about shorting something like this, which is off to the races, guys.
So back long, 6. Bang. Nice little win there, guys. Look at this, man. Average, and out, and bang. Bang again, guys. We just keep on running Facebook. My new favorite stock is in the building. Average, bang, 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 bang. Nothing but upside surprises right there. Big wins on Facebook. I don't even know. We'll have to check the bottom to see how many pennies we've taken out of Facebook today. It's been a good one for us, man. We just be patient, and I tweeted that out, man. Be patient. Pick your levels. Boom, 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 boom. Now we come back to the downside. But look at those outs. Really happy with those. Now it doesn't really matter what happens. We'll take one more little call down here in the 30s. If that can go, then sweet. We're long right now at 40 again. And hells to the yeah. No pants down on this side, Mr. Wickens.
A bunch of, every once in a while, guys, we get a bunch of these little teeny tiny micro cap stocks kind of popping up all at the same time. Just checking on APOP. APOP, I'm not seeing a heck of a lot of news or anything in the way of news. 25% here in the last few minutes, 210 up to 260. Cleared this little pivot, 250 without any problems. So going to keep looking for APOP, guys.
APOP one, I added to the list. I'll tell you that JE is starting to slide back down. So no catalyst. up on volume, halts, comes right back in. It looks like the sell is back on. So now that it's given a bit of a consolidation, I can short off of 550, take a shot at this to get back below 5 even. This is where it all started at 487 close. The jump off was basically right around that price, 490. So that gives you an obvious target if you're shorting. So if I can get something in the 550-ish range, make sure it doesn't take off either the lower high here at 575 or that 6 even top. I'm going to jump into JE. If news catalyst comes in, I'll exit very quickly if it's positive, but it looks like it's coming back down. And these are all these post reverse split prices. I mean, relatively speaking, this is like 15, 16 cents from what it was before.
Guys, I hate that, but we're going to hit it anyways. There it is. No, Neil at least looks like Deshaun Watson. I mean, what do I look like? I'm going to hit it again. You guys can do that. We'll do a little bit of a wink, but you know why. Let me know. I mean, is it?
Yours is better than mine. 100%.
There we go. A little bit of a wink action there. But look what we're doing. Look what we are doing. We just tweeted this out on Facebook. I gave everybody the play. Bang, bang, bang. Out, out, out. This is a 70 cent. Like, look at it. We're in here at 41. We're out at 97. I can't do the math. Sounds something like 50, 60 cents right there. Nice little win. We're still long, man. We're still long the stock. We've made tons of money back here as we go. Normally, we don't trade heavily in the last couple hours or the last hour, which I think couple hours, last hour, but we are now with Facebook and just hammering it, man. Great trading on FB, Brendan Wickens.
Volatility is key today, that's for sure. A couple of energy stocks just popping up here. CVX, one of them, and Noble. If you remember way back in July, I think it was, we had a vote. There was a merger agreement. They just voted on that. So Noble, or CVX acquiring Noble, all stock transactions. So the Noble shareholders have voted in favor. So both of these obviously moving one and the same, all stock deal. But have a look at CVX and Noble, guys.
Always worth a look. Couple of new position alerts. Twilio did break 2150, so got 31s to the south side, and JE starting that position in front of 575. So a couple of new ones here with about 40 minutes to go, guys. I do want to remind you, because I feel like we've missed it a couple of times here. We usually do a little more often, but every single day we do this. We try to keep that schedule so you guys can be educated, both live on the show, obviously, following along with the markets and trading. But we also drop this content on our Market Wisdom page. Today, it's going to be about margin accounts, so tune in, check it out. I hope you guys learned something. Let us know if there's something you want us to cover in the future. We try to satisfy you guys and give you the content that you're looking for from an educational standpoint. It is not just the live trading, but there's so much you can learn in terms of market structure, in terms of all these other things you guys are asking about. So that's going to be dropped. I am going to see if I can't get Palantir to drop again. I mentioned it is slowing down a little bit, but the trade is still there. I will go back to this as many times as I can. It does look like the last few times it cannot break 920. So 930 was yesterday's support level that's turned into resistance. 925 was a hard short. Now it looks like 920 can't break. So I'm going to start my positions at 919, 918, and it's just rinse and repeat over and over and over on Palantir, the gift that keeps on giving, guys.
Yeah, just sending something out here to everybody. Thank you so much for all of the love. We'll put that out. Okay, Palantir still. Look, I'll just review the positions I have on right now, and we'll look to make some new ones here. As look what's happening in the futures. This is why right now we just continue to scalp. I mean, we can't keep doing this every day. You don't want to just keep taking all of these bottoms and hoping that it's coming back up. But right now, we're pretty news dependent in this market. It's heading into the weekend. We're start of a new quarter. It's October 2nd right now. So the quarter just ended in September. And now we're just kind of waiting for something to happen. So Palantir, obviously a good name, 30 million shares today. We've traded that one short, out. Great trades on that one. Really just not doing much here, waiting to see if we break back downside. I know Neil and I are looking to keep shorting every pop, but I'm not going to play in the middle. We would love to get this back into the 20s. That's a little bit of a review right there. Facebook, we hold on to a little bit left right here. We do have our out to the downside, so we still are long 40s. We're going to play the same game, man, to the upside if it keeps on doing that. And the last trade, a a friend of mine today, but could be a much better friend if we had just broke through 60 hard, but we kept getting out there. We did finally break down to the bottom 52, and at that point we were waiting for VWAP. So CCL right now pretty light on this one, but those are the three positions that we have. I'm going to be trying to find something else, maybe some Zoom, maybe some Twilio. The mistake of the day, and here's another graphic for us. I don't like this one either, but I'm going to hit it because Twilio, guys, we hammered this early. I love this stock, and then we got hammered as we take out that bottom. Not sure even why I didn't give it more room. So my job this afternoon is to investigate why I didn't give this one a little bit more room to the upside there. So we'll watch that. Now Facebook breaks down to the downside there. Are we ready for Brendan? No. Okay.
But we just to update you guys. Speaking of Brendan, a name that was in the small cap, and we talked about this many times. We were all looking at this one in the pre-market. DTW. It was on the watch list, and plenty of references to it, at least throughout that 9 to 9:30 mark. Just retested and hit me at the low of the day, 215 again. So I took some more shares off. I had targets all the way down to previous close. It was 198. I'll get out of everything in front of it, like I mentioned. It has not broken higher. I actually even adjusted my stop. Mentioned to you guys to 245 when it was holding a higher low. That never broke, so good hold in this one. No reason to get out of it, no reason to overtrade it. Just enjoy the ride as it sells back off. Showed weakness after gapping up. That's what I'm always looking for on that style of a trade. I can tell you right now that at Twilio, of course I bungled along. But I'm going to take a shot shorting this one every single chance I get. Identified at 293 level on Twilio. The second it failed to break the first time, and did a fake break the second time, I'm going to jump in the short and the rollover, but it's taken out the top. Looks like I'm going to go 0 for 3 on Twilio, despite having a long down here at 282. Man, that stinks. It is what it is, guys. It's going to happen to you sometimes. That's my negative stock of the day, and Bed Bath & Beyond. The two ones I fade into don't work out. That one hopefully heading towards that 21, so we can get another test there. Brendan is now ready. What do you got, bud?
Via Holdings. There was news on this a couple days back. I'm going to double check. I think it was with Ring Central. AVYA in New York, 4.5% here. Look at the volume that just came in here. Through day highs, we're coming up to 17, which is 52-week high territory for Avaya, guys, AVYA.
You are 100% right on that one, Brendan. Good look there. There was something there about Ring Central a while ago. I thought they were trying to come together there. Isn't Avaya an insurance company? I don't know. I think they are here in Canada. Okay, there's Facebook. We'll just talk about this. There's our last long there, 33. Look at the risk here, man. In 33s. Out 15s, we don't have to worry about this move to the downside, so we get out right there on that VWAP break. Remember I told you we were adjusting our trades to the current VWAP, so that's what we did, and we get out there. So these are all like 50, 60, 70 cent winners. These ones are bigger, but there it is. When we lose, and we only lost on a small part, because I told you we just kept out, this last one out there. It's about a, what was I say, 33 out, 16. So let's call it about a 17 cent. That's pretty good math. 17 cent loser right there. So now we don't have to worry about the downside. And this is just what's happening. Look what we said. The NASDAQ was very, very quiet. Now it's finally starting to break out. So I think we'll look to fade into some shorts now. Facebook might be that one, down 1.4%. Let's check out Apple quickly, Neil. What's that down? Man, these charts, like these D prints, sometimes they're great, but I know they're not great for the show. A lot of traders like to look at these to sort of judge maybe where there's some action in dark pools. You guys can Google all that stuff. I'm not a huge believer of that theory, but ever since, here we go. I'll just give it to you right now. Look, dark pool down, market moves down. Dark pool down, market moves down. Dark pool print, market moves down. Dark pool print down here, market moves up. Up. So, it goes back and forth, but that's the logic there.
So you think I should short Tesla?
What I'm saying, yes, exactly, or Amazon. What I was saying here is that you could pay hundreds of dollars to get people to try to convince you that these wicks mean something, or you can just watch us trade live for free. Your choice.
Yeah, and I sort of jokingly said that, but Tesla is sliding to the downside here, and there's one of those prints down to 418, that block print coming in the dark pool. But this level, 430, looking like it's going to come into play to that little downside. So watch out. I mean, NEO seems like it's following suit as well. The entire space coming back a little bit. I also have a long, which is starting to look like it's going to roll over on me. That's going to be that NNOX. Shouldn't care necessarily what the market's doing. This is sort of a heavily shorted name. It was a Muddy Waters that came in with a negative report, basically calling them a fraud. Today, positive news, they're going to be at a big conference showcasing their product, which Muddy Waters says doesn't really exist and isn't functional. But I was playing a bit of a breakout here at 33.20. It's right back at that break-even price. I have been giving it right into here for like $1. I might tighten this one up because if you're playing a squeeze and it doesn't go, then I need to tighten this up. It's not going to go to plan. I did take some off for a scalp, so it can actually, if it holds 33, it's actually not even a negative stock for me. But I got greedy and did not take anything out for the dollar win. Of course, if it pops now, I'm going to go ahead and do that. But I have to tighten this up. The volume is gone. So the catalyst is really fading away here. If it breaks below 33 even, there's no reason for me to be in this trade anymore. So I'm going to be taking off NNOX. It's putting me to sleep. And why risk an extra $1 on this position when it's not doing anything, guys?
Yeah, and that's the thing, and that's exactly what you need to do when you're trading, guys, is don't let these stocks put you to sleep. We did get some out. I didn't even see CCL drop back. This is what I'm talking about. You got to stay on some of these stocks and pay attention. CCL makes a move all the way to the upside, so we just get flat there. CCL's been a good stock for us, so we've lined them up and hit them. Still negative on it, though, today, but we have made some of that money back. Our biggest problem was these shorts here, short, before getting hit on the upside and then reversing to the short and capturing that money back. But we were just a little too invested right there, so there we go. Honesty is the best policy, and that's what we believe in right around this spot. Okay, CCL making moves down, NASDAQ making moves down. Let's just check out the ES just to see if it is just NASDAQ related here. Yeah, basically it is. That's why it's figuring there, because when we looked at JP Morgan, it was not coming down, and neither is CCL. So the market holding up. What isn't holding up is the NASDAQ right now. So we'll find out why. What stocks are leading the NASDAQ right now today? Let's go over to NVIDIA real quick. Why are some of these names coming down? NVIDIA on our watch list, which is free. We'll talk about that. Maybe Brendan can show that in a second there. Valeria, please drop the watch list for that one. We do have our guest of the day coming up. Here's NVIDIA. Yeah, look, NVIDIA cracks that VWAP and then just comes down. You could have done the same thing on Facebook that we were doing. The same thing on NVIDIA that we were doing on Facebook. Keep picking these bottoms and then get out on that break. But let's look to see if NVIDIA is maybe a little oversold. But look at the NASDAQ, just keeps on coming down. I love NVIDIA to pick up if it goes lower, but we were at 480 last week.
I just want to make a correction. So I mentioned that it was Muddy Waters, but they were the second to come in with a negative report on NNOX. It was first Citron. So I guess call it giving credit where credit's due. No, I'm just correcting it. And I didn't think of that. That's, of course, Brendan not wanting to take all the credit, but he does deserve it. He just reminded me of that in our chat, guys. I should jump back over to JE because there's still no news that I have seen. It just looks like it came up and volatility halted. And once it started to slide back down, I talked about that short. I put it on. I didn't get more shares, so I can probably go ahead and cancel that 550 order. Not going to get filled there, unlikely. But got 536. It is sliding down. I will take some off in front of 5 even. I just think the ultimate target is going to be yesterday's close, where this whole thing started at about 490. So if I can catch 20 to 25 and then 40 to 45 cents on winners. A nice little short here in JE. The volume's also tapering off, which would suggest there was nothing to it at all, and it should maybe give it all back to the downside. NNOX has not gone to my tighter stop. I just did mention this. If it's because it's going sideways, if I'm going to tighten my stop up to just 33 even because it's not doing anything and there's no squeeze on, I'm going to get it out in front of the high of day as well. I mean, you got to play both ways here. I'm not anticipating a big move anymore. So if I can go ahead and take 50 and then 75 pennies off on this, when I've tightened my stop to 20 cents downside, I'll just have to go ahead and do it. It's getting to that lunchtime hour, guys, that HFT hour. So you want to make sure you're locking in that profit, not over trading, only sticking to your best entries and your best setups and the stocks that you have the best read on as well.
Oh, gosh. Sorry, Yuri. I'll talk about that in a minute. Apple near VWAP. We'll hit the siren because you might see a new position come. Oh, man, Facebook. You'll see a new position coming in. Where did we put the stop? Let me just check this out quickly for you. Yeah, breaking through 262. We'll see if that one can hold. 262 has been a good hold spot for this stock. We did have some bunched up action there. Obviously, this morning we did tick down, man. This morning was a fun morning as we ripped to the upside. Here's 262 again right here. So we'll use 262 as a little bit of an out spot for us now. We are long 262.48 right now. So it'll be a 50 cent 4% loss. If it does continue to go downside, we will have to get out. So we're not risking all of the profits, obviously, on Facebook today. We do like that stock, but we're just hoping that, and I hate using the word hope, because there it goes, because when you do that, you're always not in a good position, right? You shouldn't be hoping for anything. But right now, here it comes. Look at the market, man. We're crashing lower and lower and lower. So we'll probably get out on a 262 break. Let's give it over to Brendan.
Another energy name just popping up here, guys. Oxy, Occidental, trying to retake this low. It looks like 954. We're above that, obviously, but pushing into where we were yesterday. So crude oil kind of marching back to the upside. So a number of these making day highs at the moment. Oxy, one of them, guys.
And true to my word, guys, I'm going to take out some shares of NYSE there. So 40-cent win on the first little bit. If it goes shy of that lower high, we'll take a dollar winner. Otherwise, that stop is in. If it breaks below this market, it's actually 33 and change. Not exactly 33 even. So just a little bit higher than that. I'll stop out. And it'll be a very, very small hit. It's just... You have to be nimble. The other thing, too, is the market's starting to fade off here. So this runs out of juice. It's already got a couple of short sellers aggressive on it. It's up 40%. Man, it could really go to the downside. And I'd start to think about shorting it if it broke 32. I'm not going to short it near the top. I'll probably wait patiently for some bigger moves. But an adjustment on that strategy for you guys. No adjustment whatsoever on Palantir. I just got in a couple of times here at 919. It got up there once, came down a couple cents. I didn't take any out because I wanted down around like that 10 to 15 mark. But it came up again. I'm like, yeah, I'll just get some more shares. Why not? 920's been pretty good. So once it breaks 15s, I'll start covering it on the way down to what looks like it's been the bottom between like 906 and 912. I usually start taking it off here, as you can see, at the 15 mark, and then just trail it all the way down. Hopefully at some point to 9 even, but it's held. It's doing 30 million shares in a tight range between two levels that we basically, quite frankly, Sean, called out. And there's been no break in either direction. So 9 did break and went 5 cents. To the upside, 930's held like a charm and will continue to ride that party. I have not been broken on Twilio yet. So this short still working. It did not take the top off. It tested it one more time. You got to feel like if it's not going to further make a move up, at some point there might be some profit taking. 257 this was yesterday. 272 this was at the open at the bottom. Let's see if all I'm asking for is $5 or $6 down into VWAP on this short. Let's see if it does work out for me. Did not work on Bed Bath & Beyond. Let's see if it does on Twilio.
Yeah, we're in Facebook right now. So we take Facebook long there at 15s. We've averaged it, man. We got 52s, we got 44s. I was just studying it there. We did take off 20% there when we got back to flat. Our average price is long 40s right now. We just took some out at 47 to make that our average price. I just don't know, man. The NASDAQ doesn't look strong, so just trying to get out of some of this trade here. I'm still going to hold. Like, that's why I took off 20% there. Like I said, we're not trying to make or lose our day right now at 1140. That seems pretty silly, especially when we know the market moves a lot in the afternoon. So right now our Facebook average price is 38, and that's right where we're at. So I can't complain about it. We've done a good job managing this position. We waited for 262 and got 261 and change downside to break. I do have some orders upside again in the 70s and 80s. Hopefully we can get some out on Facebook there. But if it does come back to the downside, yeah, man, it'll be like a 40-cent hit. So I think that's why we're looking to get some out at 70s and 80s. If we can get back to VWAP, then that would be fantastic. But right now, this market, we have president testing positive for COVID, and we have Biden going for tests as we speak. It's already done, so we're waiting on that. I just think it's going to be a nasty fall if that test does come back positive for Joe Biden. So we'll wait on that test to come through. But I don't like what I'm seeing in the market here. We are fading back down, man. We've had short bias all day. So being caught in a long, I'm not caught, but just being long right now is a slippery slope. Obviously, look at the trend here. We shouldn't really be fighting this, Brendan.
What a reversal we're seeing in some of these energy names, guys. Another one here, Ovinitiv, OVV. Look at the move this thing's had from 690 up to 770 again, kind of into yesterday's range or yesterday afternoon's range. 3.3%. No individual news on this, but kind of leading right now. See the volume coming in still to OVV, guys. Energy shares trying to take the market higher here at this point.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
energy.
I mean,
Facebook just comes out there, guys. So we'll just go arrow down. Again, we are not giving everything back, not even close, but we took a little bit out there and then got the rest out on that 262 break. So we were talking about it just now, and the slippery slope continues to the downside.
Yeah, and speaking of slippery slopes to that downside, a couple of them for it. I literally just laid it out for you on Twilio. It's starting to roll over here. If it gets to that 288 mark and then the VWAP, I'll be taking it out. Only $1.50 away, but the other one that I have taken some profits out, I had just mentioned to you where I would start to put some bids in to start taking profit on that double entry at 919 on PLTR. This actually just put me over 300 executions. That's a lot for me. So obviously a lot of it has to do with Palantir, but there's another name that I wanted to wait till the market was slowing down to get into. I know it's happening right now, but there was a deal yesterday in AMAG, and I talked about this at 13.75 that I would be active in this one in front of that price. I have been getting in and out of this one in a tight range here, but it's slowed down so much that even I'm not doing anything in it the last 30 or 40 minutes. Why? Because PLTR is good. Twilio's finally giving me a move to the downside, so didn't work in Bed Bath & Beyond. Hopefully it works here. And NNOX. I had said to you guys that long looked like it could turn into some trouble and that I wanted to reverse into a short. So that's exactly what I've done here. I did take some profit off to ensure that it wouldn't be a big loser, but I just got into the short southbound of 33 for the first time today. So I thought there'd be a squeeze on. It's calmed down. It's moving downside. It's heavily shorted name. It's up 40%. The retracement hopefully is on. I'll target below VWAP here for any exits in front of 32. And then after that, let's see if it can't test the low of the day on NNOX.
I do like NNOX to the short side. We've talked about why. Neil has obviously as well. Okay, so I'm going to go back to our friend CCL and see if we can't turn this stock green for us today, P&L wise. 1470. I like this break to the downside here. You see what the market's doing. This has stayed high. We know the sell-off is in tech, not in the ES, but they can follow, and it probably will. So we do have a high side here of 1477. I guess if it takes that out, then you got a good trade on. But right now we're watching this to the downside. We do seek a little bit of revenge here on Facebook. Let's see if that one can keep going higher. But I don't know, man. I don't want to keep fading into this short and taking longs and trying to catch bottoms. Never really a good sign at all. So with that being said, we do have our guest trader of the day ready to rock and roll with Brendan.
Hey guys, yeah, it is Friday. That means guest trader of the day time. Very happy to have yet another first-time guest trader of the day coming on the show. Brought to you by Lewis Daniels Watches. I'm watching ASO. There was actually an IPO today. It's not a huge one, but ASO, Academy Sports. Looks like that just opened on the NASDAQ. Mike Lewis is joining us as our guest trader of the day today. Hey, Mike, how has your day been? It's obviously an interesting one. Lots to look at today.
Yeah, it's been an interesting day. So I've been watching you guys ever since the beginning. You relatively new trader, so I've learned so much from you guys. Today I was looking at a little bit of the pre-map gappers with the XTNT, DPW, TNAB, and I'm getting a little bit into you guys through the options. So I purchased a 123 Disney put. And yesterday ran up, but today, like Sean and Neil says, take a little profit and learn from your mistakes.
In this environment, definitely always a good idea. The uncertainty, the volatility, this news coming out of nowhere, obviously overnight. Never a bad thing. You're never going to go broke, as they say, taking profits, Mike. So good to hear that. Let's get back to it. Here's Neil.
How's it going, Mike? I'm not gonna say anything about the team that you might be supporting there. We'll leave that alone. But you mentioned a couple of names that you're looking at, of course, in terms of your trading. But XTNT and Disney, of course, is the options play. Now, off the bat here are options your primary vehicle for trade? Do you trade in equities at all? Obviously, XTNT, I'm gonna expect maybe.
I trade. Been trading the equities. Sorry. And I've been learning a lot of the follows you did. My in and out, it used to be about 20 cents either way with a stop loss or now. Now I have a small in and out, about 50 cents I'm comfortable with now. But all the things you guys talk about, FOMO, getting in, getting out, And one of the things that you guys have taught me is once my losers lose, have that stop loss, stick to your plan. Because sometimes I'm just waiting for it to come back up and never comes back up. And then when my equities are going up, I get out too quick. So I'm learning a little bit about that, learning every day from you guys, learning from the other guest traders that are on, and just taking it easy, step by step. I have a cash account, so I'm able to go at that, following you guys every day, and just learning my the learning curve that I have, trading plan that I'm in and out, and sticking to it, and just following on with that.
Yeah, I'd love to see that, especially cash account. Like keep it simple. Have some discipline there. I got to quickly jump to Brendan, who's got some news for us.
Yeah, finally we're seeing that NNOX coming back down. Just want to mention this ASO, guys, Academy Sports. Just mentioned it. It's backed by KKR. It's only $203 million as far as the value of the IPO, but just opened ASO on the NASDAQ.
Oh, it did just open up.
Yep.
Okay, Brendan. Let's see what's going on with ASO right now. Okay, 12. Where did we open up anyways? 12 even, maybe 12.05. You always get that little open. Probably 12.20 was probably the opening price. What we do on IPOs is we actually look to see where there's some size here, and actually, what did I just do there? Is there any size on the downside? Let's just go have a quick look, see if there's anything at 12, and my thing won't go down any further, so I don't even see 12 anymore. There is no size at 12, but we will adjust that so you guys can see that a little bit better. That's ASO opening. Mike, you ever trade any IPOs on first day there, or that's not part of your plan?
Oh yeah, I got into snow about a week ago or so. Got in relatively early.
Beauty.
Watched it run all the way up. Took a little bit of profit, and then came back and just watch it go back down, and then watch it consolidate. I've been watching ever since. Also, I got into Apple, and I think that a lot of viewers will be. I'm waiting for Apple to drop below 100. Once I think it dropped below 100, I think a lot of people will jump on the bandwagon right there when it gets below 100. So I'm in Apple right now, about 105. But my first IPO was Snow, and I watched that. And volatility in that stock was high and low. So I got in, took a little bit of profit, listened to you guys, and I made a little bit of money and went from there. I only bought a few shares, so I was able to learn, just try the IPO market a little bit there too.
Yeah, I think that's what you got to do. Snowflake there, $300 stock. You don't want to put too much money in there, especially when these IPOs start going absolutely insane. So, okay, so you're an Apple bear, I guess. You think that it's going to flush through 100. Did you say you're long at 105 or short at 105?
Long at 105.
Oh, long at 105, okay.
I'm going to purchase a little bit more. I'm waiting for it to drop below 100.
Perfect.
I think it can get below 100, and then watch it go from there.
Right, I tweeted out the other day there, and I hope maybe you saw it or not, and we talked about it. I did buy some Apple with you, actually. I think it was 104 or 105, so good call on that one. And the thing about Apple is, man, own it, don't trade it. That's sort of what I say. Try to find spots to pick it up at the bottom and hold it basically forever, but not forever, but you know what I'm saying with that one. The one other position that I think you could do the same thing with, man, I love Facebook and I love what they're doing. And right now I do love a 40-cent win, and that's what we're in right now. So we did take a 40-cent hit right there. We're making it back to the upside here. NASDAQ looking like it's making some bottoms. So yeah, we're scalping here, and that's what we do. But long-term plays, every time tech goes down, I think it's going to be temporarily a buy. Let's see how high Facebook can go. We're going to see if we can get this one backside, guys. We're long at 261.89, so it's only 40 pennies, but I do think we can get back up here, 262.50. Let's see if we take 70 on this one. Let's put an offer, make sure we don't get missed.
Yeah, with the market maybe holding a bit of a bottom here, just want to quickly note that NEO pulled back, and the one short that did work for me, got the second half of it out in front of this 2130, and this is the same place I scalped into on the long break right off of the open. So it looks like there's a little bit of support here. 2130, that was a bit of a break price, a buy the dip area for you if you wanted it. That's where I was covering short before going into a heavy long on that 2175 break. So watch out if this level goes. I think there's going to be a short play on NIO through 2130 at some point. If it holds it, great. If it doesn't, definitely at least worth a bit of a scalp there. I said I wasn't going to do this, but I am going to throw in. I was Mike. I was temporarily, for a very short period of time, a slight, somewhat kind of fan of Las Vegas, but that was only because one of the Subban brothers played for the team, and I sort of know those guys from back in the day. But I got to say it. We're both, Sean and I, Maple Leafs fans, and we're from Toronto, obviously. So we're going to ride or die with them. Usually it's die because they haven't. It's been, well, not in my lifetime, obviously. but certainly it's been like, what, 50-something? How many years is it, Sean? 56?
67, 1967.
Oh, 67,
Whatever
yeah.
that math is right there.
Whatever that math is.
You're the math
53
guy,
years, whatever.
Around here. But I'm just going to, on that note, we will hit a slap shot right there because, oh ho hum, this just rips up for a 70-cent win. Bang! That's it. That's what we're talking about. We'll hit the market green. It's not even close, but we are going green on Facebook. Look at this, man. Picked it up there. We use the bottom. It does not hit us, and then we take that for profits. Facebook, my new favorite stock. Mike, you have a favorite stock that you always seem to be going back to. I know you just mentioned Apple. Did you want to tell us maybe about, doesn't have to be the details, but was there a specific stock that you really hit a big win on or even a big loss on that really sticks in your mind? Is there any sort of experience that you've had positively or negatively with one particular symbol?
Yeah, I've been following Roku.
Yep.
And that stock goes up way above, and then you can just follow what you guys have been teaching. It goes up, it comes back down, and I can just follow Roku. If you get in and out at the right time on Roku, you can make a nice little profit for the day. Like I said before, being a small trader, Roku, you can follow
Right.
the technical analysis that you guys have given us over the past couple months, and Roku has been a good winner for me over the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, good call there. Yeah, Roku. The name that we don't know anybody that owns a Roku, but I'm sure there's lots. Roku, let's call that up right now quickly for you. I can't believe it. You just mentioned it there. I had no idea right now. I know we always talk about it, but 203.50 for Roku. Like, where did this come from? You're 100% right, Mike. You're talking about 3 days ago, 150, or 3 days ago, last week, I guess, 150. Look, this is why, and again, Mike, it's all about education. I'm glad you keep saying that, and I'm glad you're learning everything. This is what we call the 50-period simple moving average. Look, Roku, if you're bullish on the stock, every time it comes down here, pick some more up, pick some more up. Buy some, buy some, buy some. And now you're up to the upside. And look at these wicks, man. We're making one right here today. Get out, get out, get out. I'd say maybe get out of Roku if you're long on this one. What a run this has had. Roku to the moon as more people, and it makes sense, right? It's the same as Zoom. More people at home, more people sitting there watching their smart TV, downloading Disney Plus, Netflix, and so on and so forth. Roku makes that super easy. So congratulations to you or to anybody else that's been trading Roku, Neil. I had no idea that was 203.50.
Yeah, I mean, I just definitely didn't see that one coming. But there's a couple of names here that I feel like, and I said this over and over again, but if a name is on our watch list from maybe earlier in the week or a couple of days before, I know, and I thank you, Mike, for following along, or everyone in the community, because you have to have actionable ideas and you have to have stocks that are moving. But Peloton, and it's a crazy because we were looking at breakouts on the stock for a couple of days, and then to ignore it today of all days, given what happened, of course, with the president's positive test. Look, it just seems a little bit crazy to me. It's almost inexcusable. It was a 105, both a 105 break, an opening range break, and then a continuation, even on a pullback into 107 here. So I'll file some of those prices away. It's been a bit of a runner to the upside. I'm not hunting the shorts. I've already taken a few shots at those types of retracement plays. It's a style I'm going to put on. And Twilio, we'll see what happens. NNOX, I've reversed into the short as well. Just to give you guys an update, there's not too much time left. So there are some names that we're still looking at. I ask every single guest this question, Mike, so I want to ask you as well. Obviously, if you're following us, you see us trade, from 9 o'clock pre-market up until noon. We still trade in the afternoon, but most of the times, a lot of the action is in that first hour of the day. I know you go back between equities and options, at least for intraday trading, so short-term trading. Do you completely ignore the afternoon? Is it something that you maybe look for setups going into overnight or going into the next day, or is it completely hands-off? What's your perspective when it comes to time frames when you're trading?
My time frame goes from usually the opening of the bell to 10:30. When I do some pre-market trading, I did a few of that. I don't hold anything. One of my golden rules, I don't hold anything going into the bell. And then I would stop and I would paper trade and follow you guys just to learn a little bit more. Then I would go back live to trading between 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock to see if anything's happening in the afternoon. Like Neil always says, the lunch hour right there, a lot of things consolidate. But I would try to see what's going on at the end, and then especially that last 15 minutes of the day, see what the market's going to do and the technical analysis from that. So that's my plan of attack that I have. I stay with it. I don't overtrade too much, and that first 30 minutes is a lot of my trading happens in that time period right there.
Yeah, there you go. And from that, I want to sort of jump in and then say the only thing, well, first of all, let's talk about our sponsor here, because you can get one of these bad boys, of course, Lewis Daniels. So I'll show it off. I got one on my wrist here, so we'll look out for that one in the mail. All our guest traders throughout the end of this month, they're going to be picking that one up. If you're trading something new at this time of day, like when Brendan comes with breaking news or a new name on the list, first things first, it can have a move in it, but if it's not on volume, I'm not touching it. Unless it's a case like JE here, and I'll sort of run you through this. Gapping up, no particular catalyst, halts to the upside, it opens back up 5 minutes later, volatility halts, and then on volume cannot break through a 6 level that I identified. Once it comes back in, the only trade I'm going to make is short if it holds below that consolidation and the volume dies out. I would not touch a long unless either I know there's a new catalyst or the volume picks back up. I just can't see anything other than it sliding back down without either of those two things, some volume buying or a catalyst that actually caused the move for any reason. And so what's happening is sideways action that slowly slides down, quickly take the 20 cents, 20, 25 cent win in the first half that I mentioned. And then if it breaks all the way back, this all started at 490, yesterday's close, that'll be the second target. Easy peasy, but 40 or 50 cents that will take off on the second half of the trade. If there is any kind of a volume spike, I got my stop locked and loaded, now tightening it up to about 550. So that's the kind of structure I'm working with. If I can't find a simple structure at this time of day, it's not worth putting on. That's just my perspective on that. I'm sure, Sean, you might agree with me. I don't know if you'd agree with me on this Twilio short, but for the time being, this one is working. But candidly speaking, Twilio, definitely not my best performance today in either direction. Obviously, it's been heading upside most of the day.
Yes, it has. And I can't keep showing that chart where we were long Twilio at 275. So crazy. Okay, right now I'm liking Microsoft right here. We could break the bottom here. The low of the day, 206.70. I kind of like this bottom, 207.50. Should have hit that. That was the pre-market low. Now we're trying to go to 207 and change, bouncing around a little bit. Let's see if it takes out 207.50 again to the upside. That's Mr. Softy. I'm going to hit it short through 207. And then give it back to this 207.50. I do like it long through 207.50, Brendan.
A little bit of relative strength here, guys. We were talking about some of the lithium miners a little bit earlier. This is PLL, that Piedmont. This is the one that got the deal with Tesla. Still holding up here at 27.50, even as the market trying to break to the downside. Flip over to LAC, Lithium America. Yeah, trying to come off here, but 14.50, that last little support area. Some of these lithium miners, guys, still showing relative strength.
And I guess it's possible I actually made some money, so let's go and saving this one up. We'll go yeehaw, because it does not make up for what transpired earlier on Twilio, but I just got taken some out there. We'll take some out for a $2 winner. Obviously, I had a short earlier that didn't work, and I had a long that didn't work that should have. But this retracement trade did not work on a Bed Bath & Beyond, which, quite frankly, is a little bit more parabolic. But when you see this level that we're at 293, identified this when we were going over the names in the watch list. I said if Twilio got past 87 on the break, then got to 93, I would be out of a long if I had it. Unfortunately, I didn't have the long. But if it failed at that price, that's where I wanted to be shorting off of. It tested through, couldn't get it. I didn't get it the first time through. It then broke that price, failed break, tested again, failed break. So I was able to take it off of that high. Now we got the short trade on. If it gets to VWAP, I'm all out. We'll take a $5 win on the second half of the trade, guys. And then bingo, bango, bongo, we're all done. Do have another short on for you guys before we get out of here. NNOX is still sliding down. I actually took some more when it consolidated below 33. I just took some off for a 50-cent win. I'll target $1 on the second, third, and then the rest, let's hang on for 30. Let's see if it tests that bottom. So a couple of trades that follow a structure that I'm familiar with, that has worked overall in the past for me with a positive expectancy. That's why you put them on at this time of day. Do not want to be over trading. I just want to give you before we go to Brendan and Valeria here. Mike, I want to thank you for coming on here, despite the fact that you are supporting a different hockey team. I don't want to say their name too often. We love to see traders of all different, whether it's levels of experience or trading different things. And I love to see that you're jumping in on options. You're trading everything from a few small caps to talking about Disney, which quite frankly is a good name to be in, or at least watching today with the markets now breaking down towards low. The NASDAQ guys just broke the low of the session or this morning.
We just got a nice win there on Microsoft.
Have to, right?
Yeah, you guys talked a little bit about Microsoft right there, or I did anyways, breaking back down through 207. So right there, 30-cent win, now looking at 40 in the face. So yeah, we are short, and we're short Microsoft right now. Let's see how far this one wants to go. But I'm going to give you a shot right now. There's only 2 minutes left. Mike, give a shout out. Is there anybody you want to shout out? Now's a good time to do it before we wrap up shop here, my friend.
Sure, I got a few things. Well, my best man at my wedding is a diehard Maple Leafs fan. My college buddies who came up over the past weekend for a nice little visit. My BPS fishing team members who are watching right now. And how could you ever forget the most important person, but my beautiful wife? She allows me to do the things I do every day and helps me understand what's going on, keeping things real. When it comes all down to it, that's why we do these things, so we can enjoy the things we do with the people that we care and love about.
I love that. We hit the disco ball there for you. Great call there. Yeah, I think everyone appreciates their family, and that's a great look there. Thanks for bringing that up, Mike. Makes us feel all nice, warm, and fuzzy heading into the weekend. Miss V, though.
Thank you, Sean, and hello, Mike. Thank you for joining us today. I wish you a lot of profitable trades. Trading family, thank you for spending this week with us. Please don't forget to subscribe and smash the like button so we can live for the weekend with 2,000 of likes. Guys, go watch our next educational video. Have a wonderful weekend and happy National Smile Day.
Yeah, I'll give you guys a reason to get to that 2,000 likes. One, because I love the message you gave there, Mike, and it's perfect. National Smile Day. Let's all give a smile because we're all fortunate enough here. We all trade and we get to do what we love and we get to share that with you. That's a lot of fun. But as you mentioned, really, everyone does it for the people that they love around them. So I love the shout that you gave there, and to everyone in our community. Of course, we love you all and we love that support. So I'd love to see us get to that 2,000 likes. It's been an interesting and fun morning for sure. Just a couple of things before we jump out. You are seeing the market break to the downside. I got only shorts. Sean's got only shorts on. This is where you hang on to some of them if you got them. Start considering where you might want to take profits if you're in the money on some long positions, or where your stop outs are going to be. One last thing, guys. We are dropping another video. We do it every single day, guys. So it's on margin accounts, which maybe you trade through them. Hopefully you don't. But it's on our education channel on Market Wisdom. Valeria has dropped a link, so do check that one out. If you like it, let us know. If you want us to cover something different in the future or new, drop that in the comment section or say it here in the chat. As I've mentioned, it's been a fun one. I want everyone to put a big smile on for National Smile Day. We do have to get out of here. There's lots to still trade. We'll tweet out any results that we do have. And Mike, thank you so much for coming through and sharing your trading experiences with us. For the entire team here, Valeria, my man Sean Katina, Brendan Wickens at the desk. I'm Neil Roberts. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live. We'll see you next week. Thanks a lot, Mike.